to escape. When you're walking on the moon, walking on the moon, chase your happy place. It will change your groove when you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance again, that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never, ever, never, ever, never been.
Walking on the moon.
One moment to escape. It will change your mood when you're walking on the moon.
Walking on the moon.
Chase your happy place. It will change your groove when you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never, ever, never, never been.
nightmares, baby. Where you see me, you still tell yourself you hate me. Won't believe it lately. I know I'm still the villain of your story. You look me in the eyes like you don't even know me. Didn't kill you, situations I can't find that same connection. Do you remember? I know I'm still up, feeling you saw me. You look me in the eyes like you don't even know me. Didn't care you, didn't care you, but I was there too, I was there too. You look me in the eyes like you don't even love me. You don't even love me. Don't even love, don't even love, don't even love, don't even love, don't even love. You don't even You don't even know me. Go.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the European Champions Cup. Hope you're all having a fantastic day so far and hope your weekend was absolutely fabulous. I'm your host Max and I'm once again for this weekend for this exceptional Sunday, and I'll be joined by my fellow friend and caster once again, Day Nomine. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right, Max. How are you doing today?
Doing absolutely awesome. We are just ready to jump into the games today. We're just waiting for one more player before we can actually jump into the game. But anyways, going to be having a little bit of a chat about what's going to be unfolding today for you guys at home. So we're going to be having, normally as usual, we're going to be having 2 sets of BO3. So we're going to be having 2 games today. Let's check them out. So game number 1 that's going to be unfolding very, very soon in the next upcoming seconds. It will be Team Exceed up against Jade Lightning EU. So Exceed, we know the team that has Leon on their side. I think it's a little bit their main player right there. And then a game that will be happening at 7:30 PM CET, Central European Time. It will be Team Fairy Tail up against Petal. And weirdly enough, the second game is the one I'm looking the most forward to because I think this team, both of the teams are very even in terms of skill, so I cannot wait to see both of these teams clashing out in this tournament. Anyways, got the last player that has just been invited. Gonna see if they are ready. And we should be ready to jump right into it. Do you have any predictions about this match here, Day?
You know, it's kind of hard to say. We definitely seen some really good gameplay coming out of Exceed last week. So I'm excited to see if they can keep that up. You know, any team with Leon and Hegman and Keys is going to be a good team. So I think this is going to be one for the whole tournament to watch.
Yeah, also the synergies that have been building up is really nice. They created this small little group for training that's called Oogie Boogie, and like they're really working together to build up that synergy. So that really did show up last week. And I was going to be checking out the players real quick before we do jump into it, guys. So for the start of Team Exceed today, we'll be having Leon, Once TT, Eerie 10, Hegeman, Joyce Gags, Oriel, and Keys, as we did just mention. And then for Jade, Lightning EU, The God EU, The End EU, Cole Pio, Ostromaseru, and Introvert. So they're going to be the players on both sides. But anyway, we are ready to jump into the draft. So let's get right into it. Okay, we're just waiting for the... Okay, matchmaking for private. I like that all the time. Searching a match, but it's... Okay, perfect. We are into it, guys.
So now one thing I'm definitely interested to see is in that first week, we saw a pretty heavy prioritization on the captain bans. Yesterday we had a little back and forth. We had some captains banned. We had some of those really strong carries like Reza get taken off the table. So interested to see where we go with these drafts. We do already have the Yates. Now we have seen Yates get played, but not really to the greatest effect, Maxman.
Yeah, Yates is a hero that you have to try and focus around the early game just a lot. And unfortunately, the times we've been seeing Yates get picked up, they weren't able to commit to the early game potential of that pick. But anyways, it will be banned away, so we're not going to have any trouble around that pickup. Seems like they're trying to troll. They want to go mid-weapon here on the side of Exceed. Okay, interesting. But yeah, they're going to go for... Wait, is they going to go for the Ozo ban? I don't know. But anyway, Anchor was banned away. So Anchor in general, in 3.8, she is a hero that just is a force to reckon with. She's a huge powerhouse, so it's normal you're going to take that away. But especially you're taking away from Team Exceed that Leon, I think, is one, if not the single best Anchor player in Europe as of now. So I definitely understand why that pick is feared by Jade Lightning. So just going to be taking that pick away. Silvernail was banned. Silvernail being one of the main picks played by Joyskags in the bot lane. So surprising where they decided to take that pick away instead of, for example, a Finn or a Churnwalker or Lorai to try and reduce the opportunities of pickups that will be happening on the B side for Jade Lightning. But they did ban that away. Now we're going on to the last ban phase for the side of Jade Lightning. What could it be?
Well, you know, as you mentioned, the Silvernail, definitely one that was taken off the board and I think is smart. And I think the one contestion for Silvernail is going to be Kinetic. Both of those heroes over time do get those extra hits on their basic attacks, which really allows them to scale up in the weapon power very, very quickly. And it can be kind of hard to contest them because of that. So I'm glad we got to see both of those come off the board. But that does leave a couple powerhouse captains available. We see Hegman picking up the Churnwalker there. Another one that really stands out for me for Europe is that Finn.
Yeah, Finn Lorelei.
I might be thinking of the Lorelei Arden, and Arden's kind of one of those flex carry captains right now. So I would definitely like to see them take that away from Exceed.
Man, if they get Finn, Lorelei together, you got the Finn, really good tank front line, and then you get the extra move speed and the peeling potential of the Lorelei together. Man, I think right now if they get those two picks together, that would be absolutely huge for their side. They had to pick Lorelei because Lorelei and Churnwalker together was just not possible. It would have been really hard to deal with if you were playing up against Exceed with that comp. So normal and very natural pickup by their side. The NEU will be following it up with the Arden apparently, but they will be leaving the Finn open. But I do not think they're going to be comboing a Finn because Churnwalker's already going to be in that roam position and top lane Finn. Not the best pickup to go up against. So anyways, they're going to be letting that Finn open. It shouldn't be picked up throughout the draft. But they're going to be going for Kensei here, picked up by Leon for Exceed. Don't know where they're going to be playing that. It can be played bot, can be played top, can be played jungle. It's played in quite a lot of position. Very flex hero for that position. They do go for the Reza though. Get banned so many times, but this time it made it through and it will be picked up by Exceed.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to see going down the crystal path for that Reza. For a little bit there, we did get to see some fun tension bow Rezas, but let's all be glad that that's over and done with. But you know, still a very viable and very high damage potential pick. We definitely seen some Rezas yesterday come through strong and turn fights around where we really didn't think it looked possible. So definitely got to be wary of the spam of that Aftershock.
Okay, so it looks like they want to go for Grace. They did go for the Finn though. I didn't think they were going to actually come out and go for another Finn, but they got 3 potential roam heroes, but we can know that Lorelei can be played as a CP character. Weapon Finn is really good. Finn is like, Weapon Arden, sorry, is a really good pickup right now, but they do have this Finn. It's going to be normally the roam, and then I guess Lorelei will be going top lane. That would make the most sense. Also, they can also put the Arden top lane, so we're going to be really having to see what roles this Lorelei and this Arden are going to be played in respectively, but they do follow their next pick up for Exceed will be the Scarf. So Scarf right now in this patch working out really good. So they already got 2 CP characters, unless this is a Weapon Reza. That could be the case. It slowly came into the meta in 3.8. Well, the meta. In the viable picks, let's just say. I don't want to call Weapon Reza meta, to be honest. But they could go for that anyway. So that's an opportunity open. They did go for the last pick of Adajo. So now they got the sustain. They got the really tanky front line with the Churnwalker. And they got a lot of dive. They got a lot of sustain. They got so much on their side. For me, Exceed right now, they just got the best of every single position and kind of characters in the game so far in this draft.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case. It really looks like we've got a lot of eggs in one basket on the red side, right? So the Idris here is really going to be that sole kind of hyper carry. So I'd have to say at this point, this Idris has to be going down the crystal path next, if you'd agree with me.
I think it just would be nice, yeah, to go CP. Unless, like, Corpio is going for the CP path, and then they're going to look for that dive. But I'm not 100% sure. But I think... I don't know. It's because they got 3 heroes who could be played, even 4 heroes who could be played as roams. So it depends really of what character they're going for. If they're going for, like, all CP, they're not going to go for an extra CP. I think Weapon Idris would be fine here to go onto the Scarf, because Hegman, we saw it last weekend when he played that Scarf. He didn't go Dragon's Eye, just went for fully pledged burst damage on that Scarf. And I think that is a character you want to focus and shut down as soon as you can in the middle of team fights. So I think here Weapon Idris would make the most sense, but it depends on the entire compound how they're going to be playing it around, because Idris here could be played Weapon and CP both pretty well in my opinion.
Yeah, we do also have the Lance and the Arden, which we know have gone down weapon paths and been quite devastating historically. You know, one person that really sticks out to me is Dark Potato with the the Lance back in the day. So we'll have to see what they're able to pull together here.
Okay, so I'm looking at everyone. So it looks like we're going to be having Gotti going for this Weapon Idris. So I think that makes a lot of sense when you're going to try and like shut down Hegman right away. So I do definitely enjoy that. So we are into the early game, guys. We just started. If you did just join us, welcome to the European Champions Cup. My name is Maxman, joined by Denominate. For this first set of BO3s, we'll have 2 set of BO3s. And this so far is Team Exceed up against Jade Lightning. And we're going to be having to see how this one unfolds. As you see Leon going for a solo man invade. Going to try and go for this double backhand. Shouldn't be a counter so far, as Keith will be joining him to try and secure those camp for himself.
Yeah, looks to be the case. We do have Finn and Lorelei on top of this crystal tree, and I'm not even sure who got it yet. It does look like it went over to Reza, and that's going to be a huge advantage. And there we see Ariel goes in, gets 1 kill, looking for another, but here comes the Arden.
Yeah, first blood will be indeed going over to Team Exceed. Oriel getting the buff, getting a kill. What do you want more than that? Not really much. But now they could even try and come and go for an extra invade, but doesn't seem like they're ready to go for that, because the weapon jungle wasn't taken away. And I think actually they're trying to set that up. Oriel's mid HP, Keys and Leon and Hegman. They might rotate. I'm not sure about Hegman, but they should be going there. The NDU is going to try and stop that. I think they know what's going on. They have the vision, but unfortunately, they're just not going to have any kind of damage to deal with it as of right now, at least to pick up a fight. But maybe you can get a lucky steal on the Gold Oak. Impale will be coming out. It will be secured over by the NEU with a nicely timed Impale gifting wall. Now weapon shin pretty low. Will be taken away this time by Oriel. He has the double buffs. You might want to be a little bit cautious. You don't want to fight a double buffed Reza in the early game, especially once he's level 2.
Yeah, definitely not. Reza packs a huge punch, and if you get that slow from him when he gets the weapon buff onto you, there's not a whole lot you can do to get away. Obviously, with the Troublemaker, he's able to get in and out of combat pretty easily, able to track you down. We see the early boots picked up from Ariel as well, so that's going to be a huge advantage to Reza for the potential lane gank. So we'll have to see what they're able to put together with that. It's going to be Joey Skaggs on the Kensei, and I've seen some decent Kensei action, and I've also seen some Kensei that's flopped. It seems like one of those heroes that you really just have to play perfectly, Maxman, and that's the one thing I really want to see. Is Exceed looked really good and tight knit together during the last week of play. I want to see where they can capitalize on this hero and make him shine.
But talking about the Kensei definitely, you said, like, really high skill cap hero, and I do really enjoy it. If you can play it properly, you can definitely turn around team fights on your own. But the thing is, Kensei doesn't deal really well with CC. And when you look at the side of Jade Lightning, what do they have on their side? They have Lorelei, Finn, Lance, Arden also with the Gauntlet if you do want to count that through. But I think that Kensei, when he's going to hit in the late game, and when we're going to have these fully pledged team fights, Kensei is going to try and dive in, and unless he gets the block or Crucible, like, procced out by his team, he's going to get CC'd to death, and I'm going to have a hard time to see him actually hard carrying this game. Hegman's going to get quibbled to the face, did pop a flask. Again, EU will be having to go back, and so does Scorpio. Wow, that damage was actually pretty brutal, so they're going to have to go onto the back end of that fight. And now it's going to be Team Exceed going for the extra piece of hand. They're going to be going for the Gold Egg right now, trying to claim a little bit more gold, and they already have a nice little bit of a gold lead, almost more than 2,000 gold lead, and they're going to keep increasing that for now at least, and they're just going to be trying to deny the entirety of the jungle away from Jade Lightning.
Yeah, Leon just barely missing the hook there onto Culpio, and I think that would have spelled disaster for him, so thankfully that Lorelei was able to get out. Meanwhile, Hegman and Leon, they've got a lot of clear already with this Scarf, and the Scarf's potential to do damage to the turrets, especially as the game goes on, is going to be pretty substantial. But we see him recalling now. Got 1,100, 1,200 gold in his pocket. Going to look to get a little bit of an upgrade there. I'm interested to see what he decides to go on the first item with the Scarf. I mean, obviously we could go straight up into a Dragon's Eye or a Shatterglass for that damage, or we could potentially see him go into that Spellfire, due to all of the tankiness and potential healing that can come out of the enemy team. You know, we have a Lorelei, we have a Lance, we have a Finn, we have an Arden. There's a lot of shielding potential that can be reduced by that Spellfire.
Especially every time I saw Hegman actually play this Scarf, he's never gone Dragon's Eye in all the games I've been seeing him play. So I think here would make a lot more sense to see him go for like the first item of Spellfire or Shadowglass, it depends, but I think his Spellfire would make a lot of sense, especially when you're dealing with the God EU. He's going to go for some kind of sustain build, and then also you got the Lorelei with the ulti, the Finn with the Polite Company to reduce the Vanguard. So here, going Spellfire first item, in my opinion, would make a lot more sense than going for pure like Shadowglass or Dragon's Eye. But now we're going to be having an invade coming out from Ostromasori, and the NEU Oriel will be rotating around, getting a nice little bit of damage down right off the bat on the NEU. Is going to have to force back. Ostromasori does get a block, does get the flask, but unfortunately that will be the end of his tail as Ostromasori goes down, one loss, the basic attack, and Oriel picks up another kill, 2-0 for this Reza.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you mentioned that Hegman did not go into the Dragon's Eye for any of his previous games played. I think if you're gonna go for the Dragon's Eye, this comp might actually be the one to go for just because it is so tanky. The God EU has gone down the weapon path, so he's gonna be the one threat. Ariel, again, we mentioned earlier, the sneaky plays a Reza can put together is able to come through and get that kill onto Lance. But yeah, I could absolutely see Hegman going down a Dragon's Eye just because of how heavy this front line is and the amount of poking potential he has. Against the Lance, against the Finn, against the Arden.
Okay, right now we're going to have the fight coming out onto Introvert, Impale. Oh, barely missing out on Oriel. Introvert almost going down. He will be able to, anyway, peel away for him, at least for now. Weapon Trim going to be forward over. Anyway, it's going to be going to Hegman or Oriel. I think Oriel will be the one to take it. Yes, it will be the case. I see, though, Idris now he has his Sora Blade. He's going to be definitely in a way, way better spot. That means he's got his passive unlocked on his Divergence path, so he's going to be able to just dash in. And we were talking about earlier, CP or Weapon Aegis. Now he's got that Sword Blade. These are the first opportunities they're going to be able to find to try and take down Hegman on that Scarf. They just got to try and look for the perfect opportunity, as we do see Gotti going to try and save his turret in top lane, but unfortunately the sieging coming up from Scarf and Oriel is just going to be a little bit too important, so Gotti will have to give over his very own turret. But then in the mid lane, we have a nice push coming out from Jade Lightning. They're going to try and get this turret, but unfortunately I think the wave might be just a little bit too short, and also we did have a slow rotation by Exceed coming up into the mid to try and assist in case, and it will be able to force back Jade Lightning for now.
Yeah, Hegman cleaning up that jungle, has hit level 8 on the Scarf, so he's got the extra range and speed on the Spitfire, and this is where Scarf really starts to become a scary threat. Leon on the Churnwalker on his way in. We'll see if they can make anything of it.
Careful, Spitfire damage with the goop onto this Finn. Trespass onto the Finn. Not really a main target, but he does that to reposition. Leon, he's hungry. He wants those nutrients. Ostromasu is going to get the grab down. Unfortunately, going to be crucibled out anyways, and they will not be able to find any kills with that engagement. Very unfortunately for Exeba. Now Kisi's going to be completely caught out of position, impaled and gifted wall to death, and he will be given over the second kill of Team Jade Lightning.
Yeah, Ariel did get caught out up there in the top lane by the God EU and the end EU, and now Lance taking quite a bit of damage. Hegman! Oh, that was pretty close, but the Lance makes it out. And again, that's the one difficult thing that I think Hegman is going to have to deal with this game, is going to be just how tanky the front line is, and he's got to watch out for this Idris. Again, we mentioned that Idris has gone down the weapon path. He can really play a very assassin-style role in getting into Hegman and just blowing him off the map. However, that is going to be the majority of their frontline damage. Colpio, he is going down the Crystal Path, looking for that alternating current. But we've got an evade coming out of Exceed here, and it looks like the God EU wants nothing to do with that.
Exceed their rotation, their synergy is absolutely on point, and there's just no way, as of now at least, for Jade Lightning to counter those invades. They're just unfortunately trying to pull off like early mid-game fights when they're 2v3 or 2v5, sorry, or even 3v5, and just can't pull that off against Team Exceed. You know that you're going to get punished heavily for those bunch of early fights. So they're just not going to be looking for that right now, and I do understand, but unfortunately they're going to have to try and work on their rotations because they've just been avoiding fights in their own jungle again and again and again, which is just able to give over to Exceed this huge lead they have right now. They have a huge, insane 6 to 7k gold lead. And it's just one that you're going to have to start to reckon with a little bit, or otherwise you're going to go fall way too behind and you will not be able to come back into the game. Kind of very nice rotation. The Gauntlet going to be able to catch out the enemies, but unfortunately that's not going to be good for him as we do lose the Arden right away in that teamfight. Trespass going to be crucibled out anyways. Corporeal going to be completely out of position. Did you see? Okay, Idris just went onto the backport in Lance and he was just able to get back to base. That was actually, I think that's the first time I saw that play actually executed properly. So that was really nice moves coming out from them.
Yeah, good play coming out of the duo there. Ariel looking for this gold oak. A little bit dangerous with the Lance and Idris there. That's what Ariel got caught out last time trying to do. Get that healing camp out of the jungle and found himself in a rough spot. Leon is at the Crystal Treant here trying to secure some jungle for his team. You know, we've got to be really cautious in these fights. We see just how much damage the side of Exceed can put out. So Lightning EU, they've really got to be careful, especially with the Idris, who we've seen have to run very early on in that fight. Arden got taken out immediately, so I expect we'll likely see the tankiness on this Arden start to build up here shortly. We see he's working into that Crucible. We don't have a fountain yet complete for the side of Jade Lightning EU, and we're getting close to one on Leon on the side of Exceed. So definitely got to get some of these items out if the side of Jade EU want Jade Lightning EU to have any kind of potential in this game.
Siege and starting to be put up together by Exceed. Dragon's Breath Roll coming out. They're just trying to dive on through, but unfortunately he's the one that's going to get roasted. Right now, almost getting the... Oh no, Scarf, the main target, but he still barely survives that. But that Dragon's Breath was absolutely huge. Able to get a very, very fast kill on Copiel that has absolutely no defense, so you know you're going to be able to roast him to bits in a few seconds. Impel going to be missing out to Joy Skags, the NEU. They will be able to save their bot lane choke point turret, but right now they're just going to be finding a second mid lane turret quite easily without any kind of resistance. Now I think this is the time where they have to try and, like, you know, go back, just farm up a little extra for Exceed, but they might even look for the choke point turret. I don't think this is what you're looking for at this point. But they're going to be going for it anyways because they have the opportunity. They have this Scarf to just so far ahead and they should be able to take this down without too much of a hassle. But though the Force Accord is available, we will be able to get the grab down on Keys, but not their main target. Will they be able to find up a kill? Gauntlet will be coming out now to get a nice two-man stun onto this Scarf and Keys. Unfortunately, the Idris is going to be able to find a kill onto Keys right away, completely out of position. That is why you pick weapon Idris in this situation. Joyce going to try and find the re-engage. Can he get it? I'm not too sure. But anyways, there's a lot of damage from the Vein Crystal. The NEU going to try and impale his way through. But unfortunately, he will be dropping right after. And Exceed, they're going to get this first armory of the game for themselves in the bot lane. Be careful, the Vein Crystal might get the aggro down on Oriel. No, it will not. Will be going on the minions. Still, the very, very nice fight coming out from Exceed.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta use, able to pick up a kill onto Hegman, which will hopefully help get some gold into his pockets and help get some of these items completed. But the downside here for Jade Lightning is that that bottom armory was destroyed. So now the increased strength in the minions from Exceed is going to be constantly pushing into that Vein Crystal. And that's now one more thing that Jade Lightning EU have to worry about. They can't leave that bottom lane unattended for too long. Otherwise, the Winions will just start to push in, and it's going to be devastating for them. But they've taken this opportunity to go for the Black Claw, but here comes Exceed.
Look at Kinsey's damage! Oh my god, goal. Anyways, that will be securing the Black Claw for Jade Lightning. He's going to get his ultimate down, not going to be Crucible whatsoever. And Leon is just going to be jumping on through, going back for the NEU. Can he get in? I'm not too sure. But right now, Introvert is going to get roasted down. And he will be giving an extra kill over to Hegman and Oriel. The NEU will not be giving over the ace. Still, man, they started that Black Claw so well. The idea was really good, but unfortunately, they were just not focusing down the Kensei that started to fight them up, and it just allowed the Kensei to stack up on this breaking point, and Jenny just wrecked them. But anyway, the Black Claw was taken away, but this will be taken down quite easily and fast by Exceed, so there's going to be a nice little bit of gold for their side.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. As we see in the bottom lane here, the NDU is forced to deal with that increased wave. Getting some gold into his pockets, but Exceed, they've got perfect vision on him at this point. They know that he was solo there, and they're going to go ahead and start up the Ghost Wing. We just now have members of Jade Lightning EU rotating down, but looks like Finn a bit behind, and with that Ghost Wing, I expect Exceed just to kind of start pushing in. They've got this vision on Introvert. I'm surprised they don't just go ahead and jump on him. They're pushing right into the team of Jade Lightning.
They're going for it. They do have this Ghost Ring buff, so they can take down objectives really fast. War Tread's out of there. Finn doesn't want to deal with it. Gauntlet going to be coming out. Crucible popped out. Anyways, by Exceed, and the Finn will be the first casualty by Jade Lightning. He's supposed to be the more tanky character, but unfortunately, he's dropping first. He knows his target. He's going to try and drop right on top of Hegeman, but unfortunately, he's just going to be completely overwhelmed by Exceed, as you have a triple kill by Oriel. Just 11-1-1. Absolutely huge game for Oriel on this Reza pickup, as they do claim game number 1 of this BO3 for Team Exceed.
Yeah, it was a pretty well executed cleanup there at the end of the game. Oriel, huge performance that game. Did get caught out once early, but then as the game progressed, we saw Oriel zipping in with that troublemaker, getting picks, getting out safely with that second charge. Really excellent play out of him. The side of Jade Lightning, they didn't really ever get to a point in the game that they could shield themselves from the damage that Scarf and Ariel were able to put out. We've seen Kensei come through strong there at the end, almost able to steal the Black Claw, just a little bit short. Didn't end up really being anything negative for the side of Exceed. I felt they were in control the entire part of this game. And just really well executed rotations out of those guys.
And definitely when you are looking at the builds, you see, for example, the NDU, he was on Lance, he only had a sword blade, but when you look at the entirety of Team Exceed, you have, for example, Joyskag, he has 4 items, Hegsman, he has 1, 2, 3 items, almost 4 up his sleeve, also Oriel, he had 3. It's just, they were just way too far behind. The gold lead was absolutely huge, almost getting at 15,000 gold lead. And that's definitely, unfortunately, really shows up that when you have these early jungle invades, you have to put a lot of resources to stop that from happening. Otherwise, you're going to give the lead to the enemy in terms of gold. They're going to get more items, look for even more opportunities of team fight. So right from the start of the first invade, they should have tried and find a way to counter or go for their own jungle invade. But unfortunately, they didn't pull that off. And it really showed in this game that it just didn't work out for them. So they have to try and be a little bit more aggressive in game number 2 when we do get to that point.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Exceed, dominating performance. I expect to see the same from them moving forward. You know, we mentioned at the beginning, any team with Hegman, Leon, and Keys is just a scary threat that you have to deal with. So we'll see what they pull out in their drafts moving forward. I'm actually surprised to see Leon taking on more of the like tanky roles, as opposed to, you know, he used to really be that carry that everybody depended on. He's now moved into more of like that off support kind of role, even full support role in several of the games that we've seen. And I think he's really exceeding and protecting his team and allowing players like Ariel and Hegman to really have a lot of freedom.
Yeah, but Leon is a player that can play in literally any single situation, in any single
Yeah.
role, and he will have a huge impact. And you said that in the Choracle just allowed these engages and was just completely overwhelming Jay Lightning. So here's just like Leon. That's why they also banned away the anchor. If anchor was open, he would have played carried 100%, like 100%, no problem. Anyways, we're back into the draft for game number 2. So let's get going.
As we get in the draft, I expect we'll see pretty similar bans come across the board. Definitely want to see that Yates get taken out. Silvernail and Kinetic have been 2 highly contested picks, and with Silvernail off the board again, getting that extra auto attack in every couple seconds can put out a lot of damage, and Kinetic can really do the same with her tracer shots as well as her stun once she gets into that overdrive, which is just it's such a crazy thing to think about for a carry, you know. We do have a Petal taken off though.
Your Petal going to be banned away. I don't know if it's a throwaway ban or anything like that. I think it's more of a throwaway ban because when you're on the B side, you want to try and let as many opportunities open for your first 2 pickups right off the bat. So makes sense to me why they want to do that, like not specifically the Petal pickup, but doing a throwaway ban. So now this is the moment where when you're on the side of Jay Lightning, what do you want to do? Are there picks you want to try and deny away, or do you want to let as many open as you can so you can also pick as many as you can for your own side? They do ban away the Reza. I definitely understand why. You saw Oriel being so impactful with that pickup. I know why they want to be scared about it. We're going to be seeing a very Leon-esque type of ban. They ban away the Petal and the Ozo, so they're definitely going to be leaving those picks open. But the Anchor, as I was just going to mention, it is still open. You do not want to give that over to Team Exceed. If you want to have that for yourself, that is completely fine with me. But Anchor, though, is a character that has not the best of early games. So if they do go to that, I want to see them have a game that's completely focused around the late game, and maybe have a little bit of a good early game pickups on their side, maybe a Marlene or something like that in the jungle to be able to deal with some kind of early invades. But right now, they're going to be going for Shelmwalker, Kinetic, easily one of the 2 best carries in the bot lane. That should be played by Joyskags, and that is one of his main picks right after Silvernail. So far, they got the Shelmwalker that worked really well. They got the Kinetic for Joyskags. So far, this draft seems to once again slowly be drifting away for Exceed.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case. Kinetic is a absolute monster in the middle and late stage of the game. However, we do have the Yates picked up here, so I'm interested to see if Succeed do decide to go down the route of a Finn for that really big front line to block out those pulls. It does look like they pick up the Arden. We have seen Leon play some Arden, but we'll have to see where all of these heroes end up. Again, a lot of these players on the side of Exceed are very flexible and have a very diverse hero pool. So I wouldn't doubt seeing someone like Leon flex from that captain position into one of the side lanes, or Ariel even be able to flex into that support position. So we'll have to see. We see the Scarf coming through. That's one of Hegman's key picks, so definitely think we'll be seeing that go over to him. This is really a lot of potential right now for the Yates, though. We don't have any real big bulky front lines. I mean, Finn just completely unpullable, guaranteed counter there. Looks like we do have a Vox coming out for the side of Jade Lightning EU, though.
Yeah, they're going to be going for the Vox here. If they do go for that, I don't know if they should play it weapon or CP. They already got the Lorelei, so if they want to play Lorelei as a carry, they can play it CP, Anchor CP, Marlene CP. They did go for the Marlene. I think that's really good. They have to have some kind of trading material for the early game. And now Introvert did go for this Vox. I think it's fair to say that this will be a weapon Vox. If they go CP, they're going to have no kind of weapon ratio, unless they play a hero in a weapon build that doesn't really suit it. But I think here this will 100% be a weapon Vox. Went for the last pickup from Team Exceed. Lance is on the board. If they want to go for hard CC, hard punish, they could go for that. They will follow it up with the Kensei once again. And seems like Joyskags will be the one playing the Kensei again, and Leon will be onto this Kinetic. And between Kensei and Kinetic, like, one can be played mid. I think we're going to be having Kensei jungle, bot lane, Kinetic. That would make them more sense. But anyways, man, the draft so far, I really, really do like what Exceed did there. But we mustn't forget that for Jade Lightning, they have this Anchor, they have this Lorelei, and this Yates. They are huge in the current meta of 3.8. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a way, way better game, because definitely the draft is way more even than what we had in game number 1.
Yeah, I absolutely have to agree with you there. There's a lot of outplay potential with the Anka and the Yates. And even looking into the Vox, no matter what path he goes down, Vox has always been one of those comfortable heroes to pick in the meta ever since his release, whether it be Crystal or Weapon Power. So we'll have to see where we go with that. It does look like we have the weapon started off, which makes a lot of sense since we do have the Anka, we have the Maylene, we have the Lorelei. So definitely a lot of potential for Vox to scale out of control at the end of this game.
So right now we're going to be having right off the bat, and I see this is really nice. This is what I was expecting from the side of Jade Lightning. They have to stick together, and they're already sticking as a 4-man pack right from the start. And this is smart because it looks like they will be getting invaded by Leon and Keys. So the fact that Ostromasseri with the Yates sticking around and trying to put people off guard with the grab across will be really nice. We're getting invaded 2v3. It will be secured away by the NEU, and that's why I was talking. You have the Marlene, you have to try and counter and trade out this early game. They did that really smartly, so I'm really happy to see the change of pace coming out from the side of Jade Lightning.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think they have a much better draft this time around. However, the side of Exceed, they have a very comfortable draft for themselves as well. So by no means do I think the good draft out of Jade Lightning EU is going to make it an easy game for them.
Okay.
Oh, man. Anka a little bit too far. And going to get caught out by Ariel and Hegman. In the end, EU also taking quite a bit of damage.
No, okay. While 2 kills going over to Team Exceed there, unfortunately, the Anchor and the Marlene going a little bit too far on their adventure, and they will be called out and taken down by the Scarf. Hegman, already a huge powerhouse in game number 1. Now he's 2-0, and we're not even 2 minutes in, so I don't know what this means about the rest of the game here, Dave.
It's definitely
oh, good.
It's definitely an interesting start. Exceed already getting this Scarf fed up. Hegman 3 crystal bits 2 minutes into the game, and he's going to be pretty comfortable here in the mid lane at this point. However, looking at the builds, we do have a crystal bit coming out on Colpio, so lots of crystal power on the side of Jade Lightning EU. I would like to see some shielding come out of Kensei early on, since he's going to be, playing that kind of assassin role. He's going to be in the brunt of all of that damage. It'll help him survive a little bit longer and allow Hegman to really start to ramp up on the backline on this Scarf, which we've seen him do so excellently on.
And when we were talking about interesting... Oh, wait, be careful. In the bot lane, I'm going to have Oriel. Going to be ganked a little bit, flanked by the NEU and the God EU. Not going to be able to find any kills, though. We were talking about how that was interesting, and I remember Dowsy one day telling me, when a caster says something is interesting, he means it's weird, but he's just saying it politely. So I guess that's what he meant by that. But anyways, we are almost 3 minutes in, 2-0, as we did have the jungle camps. We'll be respawning, and Leon will be going for the invade. Will they be able to secure for Exceed this CP buff? The Millions around the corner, they should be able to secure it, and it will be going over to Introvert with that fish food nicely secure. But the invades, like just 2v4 man invades, and still Exceed are applying so much pressure. This is saying a lot about what's going to be going on into the near future. Going to have the end EU trying to get that nice little light ribbon down on Leon, but not able to find the range as of yet. But the God EU, he's in bot lane, he's with this Anchor, and against an Arden, especially a weapon, well, maybe a weapon Arden, he's got this this crystal bit. I think he might be going for the Aftershock utility Arden kind of build up, but Arden against Anchor early game, Arden can definitely have a nice little bit of trade potential early on, so that's why God EU is definitely under that turret, just having a little bit of a hard time countering him and dealing with those aggressions.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We do have the weapon buff on the end EU, and that can... Oh, well, and it just fades off. Anyway, I wasn't looking at the timer, but a Maylene with that weapon buff can really be a scary gank, incoming gank. Not only do you have that weapon for the guaranteed slow on those basic attacks, you do have the light ribbons for that root as well, and that can set up some really scary ganks with specifically Anka, just due to the amount of damage that Anka can put out in no time at all. We see a root onto Leon there. Look at the damage coming out of Maylene already. Yeah,
Maylene early game, that is... Well, Maylene is the definition of an early game character anyways. But something I want to talk about real quick is that we had... Well, right now, we do have the Anchor, but like early game, can just see the synergy coming out from Team Exceed. Even just when they go and shop. Exceed, they shopped already. They all got their first bunch of items. But when you looked earlier, like now, oh god, you already shopped. But like, they didn't shop until like 4 minutes 30 seconds, so it really shows that like that was really given a nice lead potential to side of Team Exceed. They could look in for more team fights, so they would have a more damage output because they had more items, and that's not something that you saw coming out from Jade Lightning. So Jade Lightning, I think they have to try and maybe shop a little bit earlier so they can maybe look for a little bit more earlier team fights. They do have the Maylene that can make up for it, but I don't think that was unfortunately enough. We're going to have another invade coming out by Team Exceed. Leon is pretty low. The Chumbucker is going to get the grab down onto Colpio. He's level 5. He doesn't have the trespass available. And I just add my camera. Oh, it's true, man. Because we have an Anchor, my camera's going to mess up. Oh, no. Please don't do that. Anyways, Keith's going to be out of his position. Will be grabbed up and taken down by this Vox. Vox going for the CP path, apparently. And I do not agree with that whatsoever.
Yeah, huge play coming out of Ostramaru, Masaru earlier. Ostramaru earlier. Was able to get that stun down and disengage Exceed, and then able to get that pull onto Keys, followed up by the fish food from Introvert, and they were able to pick up a kill for themselves there, so they've got one on the board. However, the gold lead is starting to grow pretty rapidly for the side of Exceed. It was only sitting at about 500 a minute and a half ago. We're approaching the 3,000 mark at this point, so really got to see the rotations out of Jade Lightning EU step it up. Got to get the gold share anytime you can, as well as get those last hits in the lane. Otherwise, it's going to be Exceed just growing farther and farther ahead like they did in Game 1.
Yeah, they're going to be very, very cautious about that, man. Yeah, the Anchor just dashing around is already messing up my camera. Please stop it. Like, SCMC, Rome, I saw you were watching. Please fix it. Please get rid of these bugs for the cam, please. It's really oh no, come on, he's doing it again. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't do anything against that. We're going to have an invade coming out by Joyce Gags and also Leon. Introvert is going to be around the corner. They can sandwich them up, but Joyce Gags going a little bit too deep right there. Should be shut down. He will be giving extra kill over to Colpio on this Vox. He does now have his alternating current and... Oh, goddamn. Please stop doing this, camera. Key's going to be now out of position. He's going to try and run for his bare life. He will be grabbed up, though, stunned up. Also with the Wolf's Maw, he will be, unfortunately, out of position. He does have the trespass, but not... Anchor, stop dashing around, please. Oh, my God.
Anyway, Keys falls once again. Churnwalker is great at keeping his enemies close, but doesn't really have any way to get away from them when he needs to. So 3 kills now on the board for Jade Lightning EU. Obviously, they did pick the one up on Joey Skaggs as well. Still about 2,000 gold lead for the side of Exceed, but we've got some signs of life coming out of the side of Jade Lightning EU here. As you know, we both mentioned Crystal Path coming out for Vox. That alternating current is complete. So this is one of the stronger parts of the Vox. Is he's able to have... Ooh, hold on here.
Oh, the Spitfire just going to be barely missing out. Kesey's there, though. He can get a grab and maybe a trespass to get the kill, but he will be able to get out of range, at least for now. The jungle is spawned up. XE could have gone for the invader. I don't think they had any information if the camps were up or no. They do not have any scout cams around, so they will be letting that one go away. Still, we are now 8 minutes in, 3-2, going over as of now to Jade Lightning. Was the goal lead 3,000 goal lead, still a quite consequential goal lead, not as huge as it was in game number 1 because they did have the counter rotations coming out from them, but still the farming, the CSN overall is just way higher when you're on the side of Exceed.
Yeah, absolutely. Exceed has just been such a tight-knit group for me. You know, it seems like all of the rotations are well thought out. And it works really well for the compositions they put together. They get themselves a team that can really excel through the mid game, and then they have Hagman to fall back into the late game as well. So I really like what they're able to put together here. They've got the Ghost Swing started up here, but it looks like Jade Lightning know about it. Can they get the steal?
This is going to be a 4v4. They have the potential. It's still going quite low. Anka's going to be diving on through. Going to try and get it. Elstromasaura going very low. And he will be dropping down first. Trespass followed up. 2 kills going up to Team Exceed. The root does go down onto Keith. Going to be a little bit out of position. Does pop the flask. But anyway, the Anchor will be able to get a still nice job coming out from the God of You. He should be dropping down. He will go down and give an extra kill to Oriel on this Aftershock-based Arden. There's still not got a kill. A steal there on the ghosting. So not a huge loss, but still a loss whatsoever.
Yeah, the gold lead's still pretty unsubstantial right now, but we see the damage that Scarf is already starting to be able to put out. A huge play from the God EU there. Was able to obviously sneak in off the back of that fight when the side of Exceed got distracted. Oh, we got another fight breaking out here.
I don't know why the NU just went in his dark form. I think he could have got a finishing blow onto Leon right there. Not able to find it, unfortunately. Going to get the slow. The root will be connecting out. And now Leon, he already used this flask, so he doesn't have that backup option anymore. So he will be going down to the hands of the Malign. They pop the war chest. They're going for it. They get the extra move speed from the splashdown. Oriel stunned up also by the fish food, also rooted down, man. The CC chain is just way too big. Oriel gonna pop the gauntlet, but unfortunately in vain, and he will be giving his life over to Team Jade Lightning. Definitely put up way better fights, and Anchor just dashed again, so my camera is messed up. But anyway, the grab does go down onto Joy Skaggs, and he will be dying also. Still, now you have this synergy, you have these teamfight potential, and the Lorelei, the Lorelei and the Yates together are definitely a very punishing comp. And you saw that Leon out of position, just getting dived on through quite easily. So still, they definitely have the opportunity to come back in this game, and they've just got to put a bigger focus around farming as of now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Max. And I really like that we're seeing a lot more come out of the side of Jade Lightning EU now. That game 1, it was all Exceed all the way, no questions asked. They're putting up a massive fight here. I mean, it's like every time in game 2 here that we see Exceed start to take an edge, Jade Lightning turns it right around. Leon pretty low here. Interested to see what he decides to go with on this fight, especially up against the Crystal Vox. It makes it very difficult for Kinetic to position herself.
I think it's kind of sad to see Ostramasauri not going for the grab there. As I talked about earlier, it was a very punishing comp. Leon was out of position at that point, so I think that could have been an easy kill pickup, but not able to find it whatsoever. We are now almost 12 minutes into the game, 6-5, so still this game is slowly getting evened out. We had a goal lead of 4,000 to 5,000, and now it's been reduced to a 2,000 gold lead for Team Exceed, so definitely have the opportunity to come back into this game. Introvert into the top lane, will be losing his top lane turret. Leon not going to be able to find any extra damage, just get stunned up by the fish food. Still not going to be able to find the second turret as of now, so Introvert will be able to save that for the time being. But Anchor, though, in the bot lane, unfortunately not able to find any turrets. No bot lane turrets has gone down as of yet. But Introvert, unfortunately, I think he was looking for Team Fight, not going to be able to find it. That's going to be Yates. Ulting on through, going to try and bring... No, Anchor, don't jump in like that, please. Okay, Joyce going to jump up through. Go Crucible will be followed up. Introvert will be dropping. Okay, Anchor, man, I'm gonna kill this Anchor. Damn. The camera light. We're looking at Team Fight in the top part of the jungle now. Just get teleported to the bottom lane.
Joey Skaggs and Leon did fall there. They were able to pick the kill up on Introvert, but maybe not the effect they were truly looking for. Obviously, a huge jump in from Yates there was able to help his teammates out. Big stun. Vox able to get those bounces down with the Dragon's Eye completed now. He's going to be really in a scary part of his build for 1-on-1 for that Vox. And I definitely can see Jade Lightning having the potential to win this one.
Yeah, they definitely can try and go for the ghosting's pretty low. It will not be stolen away by the Blood for Blood of Oriel. He does have his Gauntlet if he has to. War Chest will be followed up though. Might be his escaping route. Oh man, the Anchor damage is absolutely insane. That's why you ban away an Anchor just able to just jump right on top of you with a Spitfire from Scarf. Hangman actually being an absolute sniper, going to be able to pick up the kill onto Ostromasori on this Yates. War Chest followed up by Introvert. Going to try and close the gap onto Leon. Unfortunately, not able to find it. Anchor, no, that will not be able to find her A down. So it doesn't have that engaged potential. But still, they get one kill. Traded out after by the Yates going down. So they're going to try and go for the mid lane turret. But unfortunately, they just don't have a really nice siege. Only Lorelei just can really siege down that turret. So they're going to be letting that one stay up. At least for the time being. Oh, man, Anchor.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. If you, just so you know, Max, if you select a different hero and then pan off of them from there, the Anchor will not pull you. But we've got a fight breaking out. Joey Skaggs onto Introvert here.
Yeah, Introvert going to be caught out right now. He's going to be able to still survive that, and that's going to be unfortunate. Oh, no. The Kensei will be dropping down. First, Leon is going to be run over. God, he's going to try and close the gap. He does get the shot. The dancing plays, will it be enough? I'm not too sure. Yes, it will be to find a kill. No trade out by Leon for now. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade going over to Jade London. And definitely they are coming back slowly but steadily in this game. Now the goal lead is only of 1,000. And I'll be happy if you could tell me how you kind of stop actually the Anchor panning problem. How do you do? What do you do?
I selected 2 other heroes off of, like, I went to Anchor and then I selected 2 other heroes and then just panned off with the arrow keys, and it has stopped jumping me around.
Okay, I just did that. We'll see how that works out. Okay, well, thank you. 15 minutes in, Black Claw is now up anyway. So, oh no, still doing it for me. I don't know.
Rip.
Ripperino. Oh, well, I'll ask the players to ban Anchor next game anyways. Please, don't play it. It's OP anyways.
It's usually not an issue. The Anchor usually gets banned away. But big part of the game here for Yates, he's got that Atlas Pauldron complete. So if he's able to get a pull onto either Leon or Kensei and get the Atlas Pauldron down, it's going to reduce a lot of the damage that the side of Exceed are able to put out. Introvert did get caught out there pretty far away from his team, and now Exceed, they want to go ahead and start up the Black Claw. But we'll have to see if another steal can be done. The God EU was able to pull it off on the Ghost Wing, so we'll have to see. What the side of Jade Lightning decide to do here, because they give up the deaths, it would just be total loss.
Dragons bless that trespass, absolutely huge. Crucible will be on point. Yates is going to try and get the team-wide bar. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get it onto the Anchor. It was mainly the target you wanted to get that bar over to, but that does not... that doesn't matter, as the God EU just able to turn around and pick up a kill. Hangman very low, and so is Joy Skaggs. Hangman able to back Paul as of now. Joy Skaggs should be able to do the same, though. Blacklaw going to be taken around, but do you have Leon, one-man army, European champion Leon, going as a one-man army, 1v5. Can he pick up the kill? I do definitely think so. He does use the flask. Lorelei round top of him. He's stacking up onto his breaking point. 25 stacks, and he picks up 2 kills, but still Anchor will be able to get the last word, and that's going to be a 2-for-1. Even 3 kills going over to Leon. 3-for-1 trade. Nicely done.
Yeah, that was the best part of a bad situation for the side of Exceed there. They had that fight on them turned around very quick.
Okay. 1v2. Man, well, Joy Skaggs, man, they just... Okay.
out of nowhere, Kensei coming through, able to pick up a kill onto Lorelei. And now it's going to be Exceed back onto the Black Claw here. Joy Skaggs pretty low on health, but Ariel doing a good job of keeping the aggro from the Black Claw for the most part facing away. But we do have the side of Jade Lightning EU discovering now that Black Claw is unleashed a little bit too late.
Oh my God.
And this is really where Exceed can start to take off. We've seen a lot of power coming from the side of Jade Lightning EU early on. They really abused that early game potential they had. But now we have the side of Exceed starting to ramp up. We have Leon getting to a very potent part of his build. Hegman very comfortably sitting on that Spellfire, Clockwork, Broken Myth, going into his 4th crystal item. Not a lot of defense, though, which is really giving Anka a lot of room to play with. But Yates, oh man, got to stay out of those burning goops, man.
Yeah, that Dragon's Breath doing so much damage. Even just on the Yates, who is the roam for their team. He's going to be dropping down first, and so will Kupio and also Interact.
Anka.
They can't do anything right there. Anka able to ult herself away with that Mirage ultimate. Going to be able to get out of the gauntlet with the Black Claw still alive and lively. Going to be able to secure this mid lane choke point turret. The God EU on his own. They're going to be getting ulted down by Leon. Going to be able to tank himself behind the turret. And Anka still dashing away. Stop Drew. No, okay. I can't say stop dashing at Anka. It's like it's part of her kit, but you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of an unfortunate part of the PC client here, but something we do have to deal with. We do see Exceed coming back into the game piece by piece here. Kolpio has been unable to secure a kill for himself in quite some time. We have seen the God EU pick up a couple pretty quick kills on the Anka, playing that assassin just the way it needs to be done. In the end, EU has had a huge performance on picking up some of the stragglers, though. 6-1-6 on In the End EU, working into his Broken Myth now. A little bit of defense built, but not a whole lot across the board, with the exception of Kolpio, who does have the Aegis complete.
Okay, so I'm looking at right now. I'm trying to fix the bug, but it doesn't seem like I can do that, unfortunately. So yeah, we are 90 minutes in, 15-14. So I'm definitely really enjoying, like, the goalie's slowly going to build up over to the side of Exceed, but still nothing to really worry about. Like 2,000 goal lead, 90 minutes in is not that much when you think about it. So they can definitely look for the opportunity to come back into this game. We do have the NDU, he does have his Broken Myth now, and when you're looking at the side of Exceed, they have a lot of CP defense right there. They have quite a bit on their side. They're going to have the ghosting slowly going to be taken away by Exceed. The gauntlet, sorry, the grab will be able to connect onto the ultimate. Just going to Vanguard his way out of it. Trespass followed up by Keys to get himself back to safety. Dragon's Breath, once again, doing so much damage. And dashing again, messing up my camera, but it's all good. And the Goddie will be normally going down to Leon. Mirage ultimate to get himself to safety. Will it be enough? I'm not too sure. A lot of damage output, but Leon now he's going to be split. He does block out the stun anyways, coming out from him. And they will be able to find a 1-for-1 trade in that skirmish. Now it's going to be a 4v4, 4v3 fight actually, as they were able to find 2 kills on to Jade Lightning. Keys will be grabbed up under his turret. Introvert is there too, but unfortunately they are not carries. They cannot get the damage output they are looking for. They can only slow him down. Can say he's looking for the armories. They do pick up armory number 1 in the mid lane. Yeah, he's going to be ulting his way through. Going to try and bring utility. I don't know why he ulted right there, to be honest, but that's what he definitely did just do. He's going to be blocking out the grab. The Crimson. Oh, the Yates. Going to try and get a lot of damage, but still the Dragon's Breath coming on through by Hegeman. Just doing so much damage when you have the ability to always pierces through your arm, your shielding, and also when you pair that up with a Broken Myth, you got a 95% ratio of shield penetration. So basically, you build shielding, doesn't matter if you're playing against Scarf.
No, definitely not. And that's why stuns, like, for example, a reliable stun from a Catherine can be so devastating against a Scarf. But unfortunately, we just don't see Catherine in the meta much anymore. Which is actually quite surprising to me with that potential 5-man silence for 3 seconds. You know, I would like to see the return of the Catherine, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, but Hagman, he's got the freedom to do pretty much whatever he wants for a majority of the game. I mean, aside from a well-timed fish food, there's not really much that can stop Hagman once he's wound up that Dragon Breath. Black Claw is back on the map, but JD, you know what's going on. What will we see come out here?
I don't know, but right now what I'm seeing come out is the NEU out of position. He's going to be dipping into the darkness. He's going to get stunned up instantaneously by Leon. He's found his target. He's locked down, but now he's the one that's going to get turned around, and he's going to get CC'd to death. Leon completely out of position without his team. Now Now that's going to be a huge opportunity for them. They just lost their main carry in this game, but still they have the Scarf. Dragon Risk following on through 4v5, and they are pushing Jade Lightning completely onto the back foot. Joe Skaggs, he's stacking up with his breaking point. 17 stacks, 20 stacks right now. Can they stop him? The answer to that is, of course, yes they can. Colpio, he's stacked up on his Dragon's Eye. 8 stacks so far. He's trying to go 1v5. Spitfire coming on through. They might want to be a little bit careful. He has a block, but he used that a little bit too early, and he will be going down to nicely put down Spitfire from Hegman. That's going to be huge. That's going to be a 2-for-3 trade. They're still losing Leon first, and they still were able to turn around the fight for Exceed. Leon is not the only one you have to take down, my friend. You have to also think about Hegman. He just came back through with his Dragon's Breath and just obliterated Divine.
What a perfect game coming from Hegman right now, too. 8-0-6 on this Scarf. Only player in the game so far to not die. And every time he does get into the fight, it's just all of a sudden Jade Lightning are forced to turn away and run. Again, they don't have any way to deal with that Dragon Breath. And Hegman's accuracy with the Spitfire has just been so on point. Like in that last fight there, we've seen that cleanup on Colpio. Big 455 damage coming out of Hegman. And an Aftershock now complete for Colpio. I'm not in love with the Aftershock here. I would have liked to see a Eve come out for him to have some sustain. Because the Crystal Fox can sustain heavily with the AoE, but oh man, Colpio picked early there.
Man, 3-man dive coming out from Exceed. Will be able to find the first pickup onto the Vox. He's supposed to stack, but didn't have the time to do so. And this will be quite fast, actually. It's going to be the end game, and game number 2 going over to Team Exceed in a very nice comeback situation into the end game. Unfortunately, yeah, they did go for the Aftershock Vox. I don't really get why. They did have the Churmwalker and the Arden on the front line. I understand you want to try and burst them down, but normally on a CP Vox, you don't need such an item as you were talking about. And I think here going for maybe an Eve of Harvest would have been a lot more impactful for him, so knowing also that there's only on their side they only have the Spellfire from Hegman, so if you don't get hit by the Spellfire, no mortal wounds, and you can just regen for days with the sustainability of the Eve of Harvest. So I think definitely Aftershock here, not the best item you wanted to go for, but still he done a nice game overall, and still 2-0 for Exceed. Definitely a team to reckon with. They were able to win their first match last weekend, also 2-0, so it's definitely right now flawless tournament in the EU Champions Cup for Team Exceed.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I really like that we've seen the side of Jade Lightning really step up to the plate in Game 2. They had Exceed really on the run for a portion of this game. In the end of things, I think Hegman came through a little too strong. There were a couple great picks from Jade Lightning on to Leon, but then, you know, with Hegman on that back line just reining in the Spitfire, coming in with the Dragon's Breath, there just wasn't much that Jade Lightning could do. And I think anytime teams in the future go up against the side of Exceed, they really need to consider Hegman as probably threat number 1, and consider bringing a accurate stun for that Scarf.
Okay, so anyways, GG once again to the side of Team Exceed as they do win this game. So I just got information that the second match we were going to have might be able to play earlier, so I'm just saying that right now. But anyway, I was going to be updating the scores for you guys onto the stream arena. That's really nice. Exceed 2-0 indeed. So yeah, we're going to be going once again over the matches we had. So we did just have this first match. If you did just join, welcome to the European Champions Cup organized by Mobile Gaming League, MGL. We just had our first set of BO3. It was Team Exceed against Team Jade Lightning. Exceed winning 2-0. Easy game number 1. Number 2, definitely a lot more of let's say an epic battle, okay? Let's just call it like that. It was really nice, a lot more closer than what we saw before. But Exceed still coming up on top in that second game. 2-0 for them. And the next game that was supposed to come up at 7:30 PM might be able to start in a little less than 5 minutes. So we're going to be keeping you guys updated on that. It will be Fairy Tail up against Petal, and this is the match that I personally am looking forward to so much for today, because I think in terms of skill, these two teams are very, very even. So we're going to have a lot more of a better showdown in this game. I cannot wait to see. Do you have any expectations in this match here, Day, before we just go in a 5-minute break to prepare the game?
I'm trying to pull up rosters so I can remember which team this is. Give me a second.
Sure. But anyways, we're going to be going in a short break, guys. Just wait for that. And after that, we'll be going in a
5-10 minute break just to get all the players ready, and we should be jumping into the action of the second BO3 ASAP. Boom.
Hello and welcome back, boys and girls. We are ready very, very soon to jump back into the action of game number 2. Still joined by Day Nominee. How you doing? Welcome back.
Doing all right there, Max. Just grabbed myself a little bit of a refill on the coffee because coffee is awesome.
So I'm just waiting to see who's the last player on their side. Who? I'm not. Come on, players. I need to know who's the last player you need. That's not ready. Jump in. Lelouch here, but yeah, Lelouch hasn't added me. Oh, okay, he's there. Okay, perfect. Okay, no, it's fine. I'm just blind. There's no worries, guys. But we're going to be able to jump into the game like around like 20 minutes early, like 25 minutes early. So that's really cool. Happy to be able to bring the action. So we're just going to be checking out. Anyways, guys, if you did just join us, welcome to the European Champions Cup, brought to you by MGL, the Mobile Gaming League. I'm your host, Max, and I'm joined once again by Day Nominee. And we did have a first set of BO3. It was Team Exceed up against Jade Lightning EU, and we did have Exceed then that did win 2-0. Who's going to be looking at right now? Exceed 2-0 up against Jade Lightning EU. And then the game we're going to be having right now, and I'm super hyped to be able to cast with my good friend Day. It's Fiery Tail up against Potato Petal. Two teams made pretty well. Potato Petal did win their first match. Fiery Tail did have a little bit of a hard time in their first game last week, as they did get matched up against Team Exceed. They did have a nice game number 2, but unfortunately were not able to take any games in that BO3 series. Still, we're going to be jumping into the game ASAP, but let's check out the rosters before we do so. So for Fiery Tail, we're going to be having the comp made up of Crizior, Jesus27, Mr. Roma, Randolph, Nighthawk, and Miguel Y Map. And then for Potato Petal, it's Bruto, Dijan, It's Joselu, Lelouch VIB, Dorcas, Noso Nomo, and VG Josue 01. So a lot of good players. You guys might have seen them if you do play a little bit into the European ranked scene. But anyways, Dave, do you have a little bit of things to say about this matchup before we do jump into the draft?
Definitely looking over at Potato Petal on this one. While Fairy Tail had some, I guess we'll call it a rough matchup against Exceed last week. Potato Petal, during their games last week, they seemed very on par with each other, and you know their timing on their rotations went really well. There was a couple little bloops though that I am worried about Potato Petal, where things could have been a little bit tighter, but Potato Petal, definitely a strong contender here in this tournament. I'm excited to see what they're able to do.
Yeah, same. So right now we are jumping right now. Normally in the draft, we're just finding a match for your party. You know, it takes a little bit of time. But we are going to be now into the game, ready to go for the second set of BO3 of the day. I named Fairy Tail up against the side of Potato Petal. Let's jump right into the draft. Alright, okay, so we're in the scene. Okay, I thought we weren't for a second. Anyways, we're going to be having a Shamrock, it seems to be the first ban away by Fairy Tail. Not surprised to see that one picked away. Did you have a bunch of players that can play that hero to a pretty nice extent? Now, when you look at the side of the team of Fairy Tail, they're on this A side. They have the potential to get that priority pick. So what does the side of Potato Petal want to deny away from that team? Lorelei is up. Not anymore. Finn is up. Yates is up. So is Arden. And also the Anchor. Are those pickups, do you think they're going to be like fought over here or not, Dave?
Well, definitely hoping the Anka gets banned away for reasons, but it does look like that's going to be the case. Reza is also another huge pick that's still on the board. Obviously, Arden, pretty heavy flex. We'll probably see him drafted pretty early. Don't think we'll see him banned. As far as we've got on the board left, we still have the Silver Nail, the Yates. I'm gonna ban away the Finn though. Maybe that's Potato Petal saying maybe they want the Yates. You know, we've discussed a couple times this tournament that Yates is a fantastic hero to play, except against a Finn, since he cannot be pulled by that Wolf's Maw.
Yeah, he's the main counter, and they will be indeed, as you just mentioned, they will commit and pick up this Yates for the first pick of Fairy Tail. Now that they have their Yates, I keep repeating around that hero again and again and again so many times. I think I'm a broken record at this point. But Yates is a really, really dominant early game hero. So I want to see them go for a combo that can follow up on this early aggression from this Yates. I'm thinking of picks like Malene, like, for example, an Alpha, a Glaive. Heroes that can put you out of position and really try and shut you down really heavily. So after they can just snowball your game, go for early jungle invades as you shut down the enemy team, and just get a goal lead and just not fall behind whatsoever. So I think here, I want him to see to go and commit with picks to have a really nice and decent early / mid game. And it was going to be seen the Arden picked up by Potato Petal. Reza is on the board and looks like it might be picked up. The soft lock is there and it will be indeed picked up by Potato Petal. We saw by Oriel, he showed us how much of an impact Reza can have onto your game. So definitely they have this Arden and this Reza. Two really good picks in this patch. So far the draft seems pretty evened out overall.
Yeah, absolutely. Reza is definitely going to be the one scary one that the side of Potato Petal have got their hands on already. The Flicker does come through for the side of Fairy Tail. Other picks on the board, we do still have the Silver Nail and the Kinetic available. We have seen those be pretty potent weapon power carries, as well as the Scarf is still on the board, and that's one that we've definitely seen a lot of work put out this tournament from that hero. As you mentioned earlier, some of that Shield Pierce that stacks up with the Scarf is just absolutely insane. So we'll have to see where the rest of this draft goes. I do see Potato Petal hovering over the Celeste at this point. Another one of those really heavy damage outputting backline mages, but they do go with the Scarf.
So far, I'm looking at side of Team Fairy Tail. I know this team has been a team that has a lot of training sessions. They do a lot of scrims. So they go for the Yates, and I was talking about how much I wanted them to go for an early game potential comp and commit to that early game. They went for Malene and a Flicker. Two heroes, in my opinion, are the definition of a good early game in Vainglory 5v5. So now it's just going to be Fairy Tail. Are they going to be able to go for these jungle invades and just shut down the Petal, the Reza, the Scarf, and the Arden? They are so far picked up by Potato Petal. I definitely do think so. They are a team that has a lot of synergy. So I do put a lot of hope into their comp so far. But they did go Potato Petal for the Petal. So is it going to be as Potato as we do think? Or will it be able to carry the game? I do not think so. Because in my opinion, when you pair up a dive hero with a Petal and she goes CP, you put your Bramble Spawn detonation your ultimate down into the enemy team, you can burst down the enemy backlanes and also give a huge amount of sustain to the Reza and the Arden that are going to be diving onto the back end, onto this Silvernail and onto this Vox and also this Maline. So I definitely do like this pickup of Petal here. It does kind of make some sense when you think about the entire draft. It's not a hero that's that good on its own, but when you pair it up with a good comp that has a nice dive potential, the sustain that comes out from an ultimate is absolutely huge. But they will follow up the last pick with a Kinetic, which showed to be absolutely huge in the hands of Leon. So I think that overall, if they can play it to their advantage, Kinetic will be giving them a nice opportunity to win this game number 1 day.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We've got some pretty strong drafts coming through both sides. I do think I want to lean a little bit on the side of Potato Petal just because we've seen Scarf be so incredibly scary, and once again, we don't have any reliable stuns for that Scarf's Dragon's Breath. So we'll have to see where they go and how they're going to deal with the Scarf. They also are going to have to worry about the Petal. Now, they do have the Vox that can kind of clean up those minions, especially in the later stages of the game. But the Reza, man, we've seen Reza dominate the mid-game. And it's going to be really difficult with the composition that Fairy Tail have put together.
Man, also Reza, you only need 3 items really to make it work. If you go for more, it's just a little bit overkill in my opinion. Need Aftershock, Broken Myth, Clockwork, and you are done and done. That's literally all you need to make it work out. And especially here, you're playing against a Reza into a comp that has a really good early game, so he's going to be a little bit on the back foot in his early stage. But once he gets his level 2, and when he's going to try and look for these opportunities, I think he can definitely pull it off. But Nosung Nomo, he's going to be into this ghosting pick. He's going to be found out by Mr. Roma there. He's going to try and go for the invade. I think he might try and go for it. He did max out his Troublemaker B ability. That means his dash. So if he wants to go for an invade, he could definitely do so. But right now, Dorcas is just going to be caught out and taken down instantly. That's going to be a very first blood going over to Fairy Tail. I mean, we're talking about the early game, how good it could be, and they definitely showed it off right there.
Yeah, they definitely did. Unfortunately for Dorcas on the Arden, he stuck himself out a little bit far, fell victim to the light ribbons coming out of Mr. Roma, and ended up falling early on, giving some gold over to the side of Fairy Tail. Now, Mr. Roma is trying to take away some CS, but I think he's going to get caught between Lelouch down here and Dorcas, but Jesus saved the day.
Oh, I'm not too sure. The minions are still up. Very lively. Going to get a nice chunk of damage down on Mr. Roma. Mr. Roma on his own, though. Nosung Nomo's day is going to be, again, a Troublemaker down on top of this. Maline, she will go down first. Unfortunately, 2 kills going back over to Potato Petal. And they just kind of threw the early game potential away there. They just gave 2 kills and also a big part of their jungle unless it gets stolen away. Going for 2v3 jungle invade. The weapon trin is there, going pretty low. Will it be stolen away? It will be secured over by Dorcas, but not for long if he does get killed up. Troublemaker coming out, will get rooted up, but Dorcas might be dying twice in a row. He just got the flask. Will it be enough? I'm not too sure. Very low HP is going to be followed up. The Petal does go down anyway, so 2-2 onto this kill board. Sonic Zoom followed up. We're going to be able to get the resonance hit, and also the Maline going to be coming on through just in case to secure the kill, but still 1-for-1 trade in terms of kills, so just going to be evening out the early game. Is still now we have almost a 1,000 goal lead going over to Team Potato Petal, and unfortunately the early game is not going completely the way as expected of Fairy Tail.
But Fairy Tail, they're answering back with some good picks of their own. So we'll have to see if they can keep it up. The gold disparity is only a couple hundred right now. So we'll have to see what they can bring together. Scarf does have a big wave for him here to start farming up. That may help them get the lead going a little bit. And Scarf is really going to be the one we're dependent on here, trying to get the gold and make sure that late game is secured. The amount of damage that Scarf could put down onto turrets is absolutely insane. As well as enemy heroes, you know, again, we've talked about the piercing that stacks with his ultimate. And without stuns on the side of Fairy Tail, it's so difficult to shut down that nearly true damage that comes out of Scarf.
Now going to be selling Nosung Nomo. Go for the solo man invade once again. The grab, the cribs. Oh, Root in a bad spot, but the Root coming out from that light ribbon will be connecting onto Dorcas. Going to be protecting him with his body block. Nicely done. Nosung Nomo, Lelouch VIB going to be a little bit too deep in that jungle. They're going to be forced back away, but Randolph very low. They cannot look for fully pledged team fight, but that's going to be Flicker. Going to be able to force out the flask out of Bruto. Miguel, why map? On the Crystal Treant, though, they're going to look for the kills instead of the Treant as of now. Chris Yori doesn't have his grab quite now in a 4-second cooldown, so maybe to look for an opportunity to get someone out of position. But as of now, that will not be the case, as the Crystal Treant will be secured over by Mr. Roma.
Yeah, but Dorcas might be getting caught out here.
Dorcas, let's check that out. Anyway, he's going to be seeing that out. Miguel pretty low, but Dorcas did go down once again. 2 times he's going to die. 3 times, actually, in this game. Krizior going to be taking a little bit of damage from the Fan the Flames passive of VG Josue, but 1-for-1 trade overall right there. Finding the kill, going down right after. Still, this is very, very even game, and that's why I said this game I was definitely looking forward to it. These 2 teams are 2 extremely skilled teams, and they know a lot of the players actually know each other, so they know what the other players are capable of, and I think this is going to be a really nice series of BO3 overall.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be the case starting so far. We have 2 teams that are playing very aggressive on each other. Petal down here looking for that silver nail, unable to find it though.
Be careful, he's going to try and backport, but he's going to be surrounded by foes. Will he be? Oh no, that was so close. He's going to be able to jump through the wall, but that should be the end of Lelouch VIB's tail right now. He's going to be picked up by Randolph. Unfortunate, but still, nice try. But he went for the turret dive there, but he wasn't able to find it, so he just got himself completely caught off guard. And very nice rotation overall by Krizior, having that map rotation, having that synergy. I've been praising Petal for over and over again, and definitely shown off right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Vox, he's got himself the gold for his alternating current. That's kind of the first spike in damage that Vox is going to have for himself, as we do see Fairytale stealing away that Crystal Treant there. Flicker coming down to join the team. Overall, the rotations from Fairytale, I feel, have been a lot better this week from week 1. So definitely excited to see them stepping things up. Vox, I didn't even see that going on. Petal picked way out over there. Almost was able to get the kill on Silvernail, it looks like, but unable to find it. And now that's going to be a lot of damage on this bottom turret that Silvernail's going to be able to get down. Here comes Reza.
Be careful though, into the jungle. Gonna have an invade coming up from Dorcas, Bruto, and Josue onto Potato Petal. Crystal Treant going fairly low. Will he get to steal them? But though we did have Reza pick up the Silver Nail into the bot part of this lane. Ultimate, Crazy going to be able to tank it up. That was a lot of damage actually coming out from Bruto. He's only got a Serpent Mask, but actually able to pack a punch with that ultimate. Flicker is around the corner. He's going to try and get that Hailing Treant for himself. Will be able to steal it away. That is what Flicker is renowned for. Able to do it fairly easily.
Yeah, Chrysior on the Yates coming up to having that Iron Mandate, so we'll see what they're able to do with that. Weapon Treant is getting contested down here. Yates does pull it back.
Be careful, Weapon Treant going low. Will be secured over by Mr. Roma as long as you don't get it stolen away. That is a winning situation in my books. Still, we are 6 minutes 30 seconds to the game. 6-4 on the kill board, and a goal lead slowly climbing up to 3k goal lead for the side of Potato Petal. So definitely coming out as a winning part in this early game, and something I wasn't expecting at all thinking about it, but now we're going to be having a few power spikes coming up onto the board, talking about especially Randolph. He has this alternating current. I don't know what he's going to go for next item. I think he's going to go for Dragon's Eye. Doesn't seem he's going for any kind of energy as for now, so he doesn't need it for now at least. But I think Dragon's Eye here would make would be nice overall, but I think Eve of Harvest would have been really nice because he's just going to have putting a priority on more burst items like the Eve of Harvest or even a Spellfire or something like that would have been more interesting because it's so squishy on the entirety of the enemy team of Potato Petal. But no, we're going to be having the side of Firetail a little bit caught out. Randolph is going to be dived on through by Nosonomo with that Troublemaker dash in. Nosonomo going to be pulled back into the goal league. It will be going down, unfortunately, as Dorcas going to be running for his bare life. Will be able to survive quite now, but still a little bit of a winning situation going over to their side. Spitfire going to be picked up. Put down onto Thesis, and we'll be picking up the CP buff for the side of Potato Petal.
That's actually quite a fun interaction there. Reza was actually able to get away from the resonance coming out of Vox, but thanks to the Wolf's Maw coming from Chrysior, they were able to pull him back in just in time for a couple more resonances to land and secure that kill. So excellent play out of Fairytale there. They set up 7-4.
Gonna have the ultimate from the Flicker. Is gonna be able to close the gap onto Bruto, but unfortunately gonna dive a little bit too fast when you do not have the damage or even the HP to do so. Nice dive in from the Nosonomo with the Netherform Detonator, able to find one pickup anyway onto the Malign. They're going to have this turret siege coming up. They're going to try and find the first mid lane turret for themselves, and that's going to give them a huge amount of room to work with for the near upcoming team fights. Chris, you're going to be going a little bit too deep. They just pop the flask, does get the grab down on the Nomido. Does use the flask, but he's just backporting. I think he knows he's going to go down, and he will be killed and picked up by VGL Y map as we have an ult on through. Iron Mandate, yeah, he's going to be finding 1 kill. Can they find 3? I'm not too sure. Chris, you're going to look for the grab. Unfortunately, VGL knew what was up. He's going to put himself right behind the turret. Still nice oldie right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent use of the Iron Mandate, using that range to come through and pick up that kill. And now they're getting a lot of damage down on the turret, but can they take it before Scarf gets back? No,
the wave is there.
Oh, Scarf turned away.
Oh, Scarf didn't go there. I think they could have actually done something there, but actually they did use this minion candy. Something you don't see that much in Vainglory 35, especially in the EU. I don't know about NA, but something, an item that people a lot of time overlook, but there gave them a little bit of the opportunity to tank that turret a little bit more. Just gave them that edge to take down that turret. So that's a 1-for-1 trade in terms of turret, where even though this turret's not down yet, they should be able to pick it up right now. And yeah, it's 1 split 5. Miguel's going to try and tank it up. Oh no, blood for blood, and it should be, yeah, it's the end. Dorcas with the Vanguard, picks up the mid lane turret. Dorcas once again out of position, just having a hard time knowing his position in this game, and he's going to get punished pretty hard. The Gauntlet, get him 2-man stun. Really nicely done there. Dorcas going to be able to save his bare life. Silvernail will be dropping to the hands of this Scarf. And also double kill for Potato Petal. Have a 3v3 fight. Yeah, he's going to be a little bit too deep. Doesn't have his Iron Mandate to ult away. And he will be also dropping down. 3 kills going over the way to Potato Petals.
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel it was a little bit of a misplay there from Potato Petal to have Dorcas take down that turret. It would have been very easy for Scarf to just go ahead, pop that Spitfire. He was right there. Dorcas did have to burn his gauntlet just to save his life. And, you know, with it only having 1 point so far, it's down for another 80 seconds at this point still. So that's one less utility that they're going to have for themselves in the next team fight, depending on when it happens. But we do have a little bit of a rotation here. Ooh, Chrysler did not see Nosoy recording. But you know, overall, these teams are back and forth right now. About a 6,000 gold lead for the side of Potato Petal, despite the kill advantage being over on the side of Fairy Tail.
Damn it, that Spitfire and Goupon run after so much damage. Very nice grab right there onto VG Josue. They will be able to turn it around and take down this melee. And unfortunately, there was a little bit too, let's say, confident right there. And unfortunately, didn't have the tankiness or the damage to do anything in that skirmish, unfortunately. So that's going to be a 1-man trade going over to Potato Petal. And that is the opportunity for them to go for this Ghosting. Jesus, he's going to try and get a little bit of that KFK if he can, but unfortunately not going to be working out. Will get rebuked away, but still Ghosting taken easily away by Potato Petal.
Yeah, absolutely. Kills 9-9 on the board. 7,000 gold lead for the side of Potato Petal. Both of these teams have been back and forth getting picks here and there. Unfortunately for the side of Fairy Tail in that last one, it was an excellent pull from Chrysior there, pulling Scarf out of the group. It didn't look like the communication was there, though. It didn't look like the team was ready to react to that Wolf's Maw, and in turn, it ended up being a kill going over to the side of Potato Petal. Meanwhile, Miguel, he's running away, but I think Reza should be able to get the kill here. Maybe not.
Oh, no.
Oh, sneaky little flicker.
Yeah, just ulted in time. He actually ulted at the right time. He ulted his way out of it, but also really helped out Jesus and Mr. Roma. They were slowly getting flanked away by the Arden in the bot lane, so they did also have the Gauntlet, so they're just avoiding them from getting caught up. So double use on the flicker ult there on the Moonlight, but still will be able to get them out to safety, at least for now. Randolph is going to be dived on through by Lelouch, IB, and Dorcas. Not going to be able to take him down. You see that damage from Lelouch's ult right there, and he's only got an alternated current. He's not even gone for anything more than that, so he's going to be grabbed out. The Crucible forced out right off the bat, so does the wait for it, and that's going to be Roswell just getting melted down to smithereens. Not saying no, we're going to try and reposition where there's Nether Form Detonator. He's going to be able to dash a lot of damage actually on the side of Fairy Tail. Gauntlet followed up, get a 3-man stun. And actually, that's a mechanic that I see quite a lot, but still, the grandma. That is the 8. You think you are safe, but actually, you are not, Chris. You're going to be turning that around and picking up a kill onto Nosong Nomo. The one mechanic I do really like about Arden Gauntlets, and what people do quite a lot now, I've been seeing that happen, is people actually know when you ult on through and you just ult next to a, like, for example, a dead turret or even a turret and a wall, it will show your gauntlet where it's supposed to land. but because you do it into like a wall, it actually negates the actual position of the gauntlet. So you don't know if you're going to be hit by the gauntlet or not, and then you just get stunned up. So I do really like people using that mechanic. It's a little bit of a bug, I would call it, but they're still using it to their advantage. So that's a really nice play coming out from Dorcas.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge pull from Chrysaor there, pulling out the Reza from the group, finishing off that kill, getting another one added on the board. It has not made up for the gold disparity, but it definitely shows that Fairy Tail can still stand their own in these fights, especially when they have excellent execution like that. However, the big thing is the gold lead is still on the side of Potato Petal. This Scarf is getting into a comfortable position. He's got the Spellfire complete. He's got his Tier 3 boots. He's got his Eve of Harvest. And he's now working into that Broken Myth, which makes Scarf terrifying.
Unfortunately, that's going to be Jesus just getting bursted down. He only has a reflex block, just not enough to deal with it. Now we have a 3v3 fight there into the top part of the lane. Actually, 4v3 and able to pick up 1 kill, 2 kills onto Scarf and a Petal. But now you have Nothing No Me. He's jumping on through, picking up 2 kills with the kinetic. Bruto doing a lot of work. That's going to be a 3-4-2 trade overall. Going over the side of Potato Petal. They have the opportunity to take down this second mid lane turret, and they should be able to pick that up as the wave does come on through. It's still a really nice fight overall, but unfortunately, they had 1 kill on the bot lane, but they just didn't pay attention to what was going on in mid, and they just turned around. But Dorcas, once again, gonna be called out. He does have his gauntlet. Will he use it? I do think so, but Vanguard will be enough to gate him to safety. Jesus, he's around the corner still. That's going to be a CP buff secured by Bruto. He does use the flash just in case he's going to be slowed down. Iron Mandate coming out on 3. He's going to be able to get the nice huge man stun, and also applies the contract, and that's going to be a 4-man stun anyway from the gauntlet. Will he be able to enough to allow Losing Noma to get a bunch of kills? The Rebuke, absolutely huge plays, and he will be dropping also to the hands of this Flicker. Miguel doing a lot of work with that Rebuke, nicely done. Lelouch on his own is going to be able to jump away with a trampoline, but will it be enough? I do not think so. The Vanguard does come on through. He's going to try and sustain his way out of that one. He does have a bunch of his ultimate stacks. He did just burst out right away to try and sustain and survive that engagement. He will be able to do so. But now this is just, unfortunately, the health bar is just way too low for Fairy Tail. They shouldn't be looking for this fight, so they're just going to be back in off for now.
Yeah, fortunately for Fairy Tail, the minions were able to take down that top turret, get them a little bit of gold back into their pockets. And I think one of the big things with this game so far and the way it's going and why I think Potato Petal is just so drastically... Oh, hold on here.
See that damage of the Spitfire? Oh my god.
I think one of the reasons that Potato Petal is maintaining such a substantial gold lead at this point, despite the kills going over in favor of Fairy Tail, is when Potato Petal gets their kills, they've been doing an excellent job to make sure that they capitalize on it. And I haven't felt the same about Fairy Tail and when they get their kills, but here we go.
Careful, that's going to be a very nice Rebuke. The Crucible just a little bit too late. The Gauntlet is not available for Dorcas, but Dragon's Breast will be coming on through by VGL and picking up an easy kill onto the Marine. That was just way too deep in the middle of that team fight. Randolph is going to be 1v1, now 2v1 by VGL. Can he get the kill? He had a lot of damage in the Sonic Zoom on the Resonance, but just not enough. And that will be a very, very easy looking ace going over to Potato Petal, as they do also pick up this Ghost Ring. And now they can push throughout the mid lane. The death timers are pretty long, actually, so they might even be able to get this armory here, Day.
Yeah, it's looking to be the case, and again, this has been the story of the game, has been Potato Petal. When they get something, they take it as far as they can, and we have not seen the same from Fairy Tail. Now it's the Vein Crystal getting worked on by Potato Petal. Mr. Roma
going for the game right now.
Barely makes it out alive there.
Be careful, they're going to jump on through. That's going to be unfortunate. Yates is just super tanky, and so the Flicker, but they just can't sustain out of it. And they will be going down first. 3-man kill. The Malene able to find a kill, but unfortunately, will it be enough? I do not think so. Another Form Detonator jumping on through onto Mr. Roma. He will be a little bit caught out of position without the assistance of his team, and that's a 2v3 situation. Dorcas, he's focusing at the Vein Crystal. Vigil is trolling. He knows it's over, and indeed it is going over to the side of Potato Petal in this BO3. 1-0. Potato Petal did a really nice comeback, and the early game was really nice coming out from Fairy Tail, but unfortunately you see they come into an absolute halt, and when they hit the mid game, they just didn't have these opportunities. Most of the fight that went to them were around Chrysaor getting a very successful grab, but that was about it. So unfortunately they were not able to commit as I would have liked around this Flicker, Malene and Yates comp.
I mentioned it a couple times there towards the end of the game, and I feel Fairy Tail had control in a lot of the fights thanks to Chrysaor being a good front line, getting some good picks. I just really in the future want to see them do something off the back of getting that pick. You know, take a turret, push a lane, you know, get some jungle invades going. Because again, we've seen excellent picks coming out of Chrysaor all game long that gave them kills, kept them in the lead on the scoreboard, and they were just drastically down in gold because anytime Potato Petal picked themselves up a kill, they were stealing away a jungle, they were taking a turret, they were, you know, maintaining control of the game despite having less kills on the board.
Anyways, very, very nice game going over. First game into Potato Petal, and like, as I said, this is going to be a game that's going to be very, very even. And at some point, we thought it was going to be Potato Petal winning. Sometimes it's going to be the side of Fairy Tail. And I'm really not disappointed whatsoever. Fairy Tail had a very nice early game. They were just not able to commit to that enough, in my opinion. So if they want to do, like, redo, like, a type of comp like that focused around this early game, they're going to have a lot more. Like, the synergy was okay, but just they had to try and commit way more to that comp and just try and go for invades, get kills. Unfortunately, didn't have any kills. They didn't get any extra gold. At least they did have some, but just not in any efficient way. And that's just put them really on the behind foot. And when they were late game, they like Flicker becomes almost useless when you think about it. Yates just getting those grabs are pretty good, but unfortunately, you're just not going to be able to use them as much as you would like to. So still, nice game coming up from Potato Petal, and I want to see Fairy Tail just having a little bit more understanding of their draft, like how am I going to be able to make this draft work to its full potential, and I think that would be the winning condition for Fairy Tail in this second game.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see how the draft goes between those two teams. I think both drafts definitely had a lot of potential. Again, if Scarf is on the board, you have to have some way to deal with it. Particularly Celeste can match the range of a Scarf, and you want someone who's able to shut down that the Dragon Fire, because if you let a Scarf run over your team, it doesn't matter really how even you guys are in the early and the middle portions of the game. The late game is drastically going to start falling off for you. So just need to see some of those things taken into consideration, because they didn't have the range to deal with Scarf. They didn't have the crowd control to deal with anybody on the side of Potato Petal.
Okay, so we're going to be jumping back into the draft, boys and girls. We are ready for game number 2. Will it be a 2-0 for Potato Petal, or will Fairy Tail will be able to bring to the EU Champions Cup the first game 3 of the entirety of the tournament? I would definitely like to see that kind of matchup. We're going to be checking it out as we are now into the draft phase. And Potato Petal maybe want to go for attacker ban. I don't know. That would be a throwaway ban, but they're going to be going onto this A side this time around. So they're going to be having that highly fought priority pick for their side around the Finn, the Lorelei, the Churn, the Yates, picks like that. And also the Anchor that I hope will get banned so it doesn't mess up my camera once again.
Yeah, Anka is definitely a pretty viable ban one way or another. So definitely would like to see that one come off the board, both for our sake and just the fact that it is a actually good ban right now. But it's going to be a Churn Walker taken off at this point.
We'll be denying that Churn Walker away. So far, you have a lot of priority picks open. You have Yates, the Finn, your Anchor. I think that they want to try and deny, like, ban one of those picks away for Potato Petal to not give too many opportunities for the B side to pick up for themselves. Because I think banning one of those 3 precise picks would be the best thing to do. Looks like they're going to be going for the Silvernail instead, so that's going to be banned away. One of easily the best carries right now with Kinetic into the bot lane. And something I would like to talk about is we haven't seen that much Gwen recently. After the changes brought to the Tension Bow, Gwen hasn't been that much of a presence in the game. What do you think about that, Day?
I think Gwen has a lot of potential. It's just a very niche potential right now. A lot of the weapon items that were good for Gwen's perk have really drastically fallen off. Obviously, we've had a damage reduction on the Sorrow Blade. We've had changes to things like the Breaking Point that just make it a little bit more difficult for Gwen to really capitalize on that boomstick. So that, to me, is why Gwen's not really a great pick in the meta right now. Now, I think if your comfort's there and just the draft plays right, where you don't have to worry about like an assassin, like an Anka or a Taka diving on you, which Taka is another one we haven't seen in a while either. But just Gwen doesn't pack the punch that she once did.
I think Taka at this point is the definition of like out meta. It's just not good. Just don't play Taka anyways. Like
Yeah.
Koshka right now, she's just not good. But yeah, also like Baron, like Gwen, she had a little bit of like the same fate. Is like where's the nerfs to the weapon ratio items and also the buff to armor in general. They just completely fell off, and they're still viable in the right hands, but it's just, and also in the right draft, but it's just not picks that you can pick all the time and have it work. But anyways, you will have the Finn and the Arden for Potato Petal, followed up also by Fairy Tail that has the Kinetic and the Yates. We talked about earlier about having the Yates when you're not against the Finn, but now they're going to have that counter matchup. Fairy Tail going to have to rely even more now around this early game. We're going to be seeing a Kestrel here. Very interesting, Daynomine.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see if this goes down the weapon or the crystal path. I'm going to be straight up honest with you right now, Max, man. I haven't seen enough Kestrel to know which path is the meta. Obviously, you get a couple different choices here. The weapon path, you have more ability to use your active camo to get out of harm's way, versus the crystal path, you have the ability to drop that preemptively and set up a huge stun and damage potential. So gonna have to see which way they go with that. Celeste is picked up by the side of Fairy Tail at this point, but Scarf's still on the board. So interesting to see if Potato Petal do decide to go down that route. Scarf, again, been pretty uncontested all tournament long for everybody who's picked it up. So I'd like to see if they use that to match the range of the Celeste, or if they go down the road of something like the Kensei that we've seen Exceed run earlier.
Or Idris.
Or a weapon Idris or something like that, but it is going to be a Samuel instead.
I'm not a big fan of the draft of Potato Petal here, to be completely honest. They have a really good like backline combo. You're again up against a Reza. You're also against a Yates. So these are two heroes that are going to be like able to put you out of position so easily overall, and also they have no ways of just jumping on through onto Mr. Roma with this Celeste pickup. Well, it's going to be played by Mr. Randolph right now, as they did just switch, but like, how are they going to be able to get on top of this Celeste? I do not know. And if she goes for Dragon's Eye, she's just going to be able to stack for days without getting interrupted, and she's just going to be dashing out a crap ton of damage. So I think the going for some type of dive would have been very interesting for the side of Potato Petal, but they went for the fully pledged backline. Gonna have to see how that's going to work out. Dave, what do you expect to come out throughout this game?
Well, I like that even though the Yates got through Potato Petal, they have themselves the Finn to block off the main part of the front line there. You know, Chrysaor, he had some great pulls last game, but the Finn makes it so that he can't just willy-nilly throw out the Wolf's Maw. He has to excellently time it to try to get either Bruto or Nosoi or VG Jasiu. You have to make that a priority. Otherwise, the Yates just goes to waste. You can't pull the Finn at all. So it's a rough pick for Chrysaor here. We see he's picked up a couple of minion candies. That's going to help them sustain in the lane. Reza does have the advantage of being able to dive onto the backline of Potato Petal. We know the burst potential he can bring. And the Celeste is going to be on that backline fairly uncontested for damage. So kind of the key things for me here is going to be Bruto and Nosoi's positioning, and if they can get themselves into a situation where they can contest Randolph. If not, I would say Fairy Tail have a lot of potential in this game to actually pull it together.
Yeah, definitely have a lot of ways to come on top into this game. Miguel going to be a little bit countered up there, taking a lot of damage. He does have his flask, will not have to use it whatsoever. He will be backpot into base. Still, they were trying to apply pressure to it. They had the glaive, and they had this Yates together. They could have tried and get a nice little grab followed up with the afterburn from the glaive, but that will not be the case as of now. I think that would have been a really nice combo to see come out from the side of Fairy Tail. Ludushabi is the one that's going to be called out. He did get afterburned up by Mr. Roma. He's still going to be having to use his flask to get his health to safety coming into the game. Still, we're going to be having the invade. Dorcas, he's around the corner. He does have his polite company. Can he get still on it? I do not think so. They will be taken away by Randolph and Mr. Roma for the double backs. Still, no, like very, very passive early game. Even though they tried to look for opportunities, nothing will be found quite yet.
Not yet, but there's a lot of potential on the side of Fairy Tail with the ganks that they can put together with Mr. Roma. That afterburn, it can really be difficult to deal with when you have heroes that are all backline. You know, typically I would say Arden is one that can trade out with Glaive really well when he's going an offensive build. We don't see that too much out of Arden's right now. it's more kind of tanky bruiser. You know, maybe a storm crown to help, but nothing too crazy. Chrysior, oh man.
A little bit stressful there. He doesn't have the flask, just barely making it out right there. He has to be careful. But still, you were seeing like right now, yeah, Dorcas, he's up against Chrysior, and he was frontlining pretty well for VG Josue. That core collapse, he cannot frontline it, unfortunately, so Randolph getting a nice direct hit onto VG Josue, who doesn't have his flask anymore, and the afterburn will be coming on through. Josue is going to be able to Sonic zoom his way out of it, but still, he's going to be caught up by Miguel Wyman. Sorry, by, that's the wrong one, by the Yates right there. And he will be able to find the first pickup for the side of Team Tail. A little bit of a repeat of what we had in game number 1. But will that be enough? Because they did have the first blood, but unfortunately lost the late game. So will this be a repeat? I'm not too sure. But right now, have a lot of pressure coming out from Tail overall the map. And Miguel rotating a lot, but not taking too care of his bot lane. So he did lose a little bit of that CS. Going to be falling a little bit behind. And just going to put under pressure by Nosong Nomad. That is going apparently for the weapon Kestrel. How is that going to work out throughout this game here?
Well, gonna have the ability to use that active camo to evade some of the damage that Miguel or Mr. Roma can put out, but it's still gonna be very difficult, kind of to survive. Again, we don't have any dive that's gonna be able to contest the Celeste on the side of Fairy Tail. We see Miguel does get pushed back here by the... Oh, Bruto!
Bruto gets grabbed up and gets sealed down by Randolph and Chrysior. Nicely done. I was talking about their rotations being really on point. You had the bot lane going to the mid going to the bot. That is why I'm talking about synergy. They know what they have to do with these rotations. And that just so far has been really working out for them as they were able to pick up 2 kills. But no goal lead, just a mere 700 gold lead. Not that much. So they still have the opportunity to come back into this game. But VG Josue is going to be able to Sonic zoom his way out. Going to have the boots on Mr. Roma. But he will be taking a 1 turret shot to trade that out and make it even. So unfortunately, Glaive not able to find as many picks as you would expect. Getting 1 kill, but still, I want to see more ganks from Mr. Roma on this Glaive pickup.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. There's a lot of crowd control, a lot of disposition that the side of Fairy Tail brings, and I think that's going to make it very easy for them to set up plays, especially when Bruto specifically is going to be in a rough spot. Vox, while limited, Sonic Zoom does create a little bit of distance and can help get him to safety. Pulse does provide a slow... Oh, man.
Oh, I saw that one shot that was so close, but he got tanked up by something in a way. I don't know what it was exactly, but Jesus will not be taking that one shot, one kill to the face.
Chrysior took that one to the face.
Oh, it's Chrysior? Okay, it was in mid. I didn't see that. Seen that in the top lane. Still right now, the zoning, they have the potential to try and go for this kill on Chrysior, but Chrysior, he has his grab up in 3 seconds, and I think Bruto understood that. He's just going to be going back to the jungle. Getting a bunch of items right now as the jungle shops haven't just spawned, but Bruto is looking for the kill on Miguel. Miguel doesn't have his nether form, so we'll be having just to boot away from that sticky situation as for now. Still, this game is like pretty even though there's 3 kills going over. Like in terms of rotation, I think it's pretty nice. But the CP buff, Chrysior, the heal count taken away by Chrysior.
Yeah, huge steal from Chrysior there. Unfortunately, as you see, as we pan past the jungle there, you gotta work on that communication on... Oh, Iron Mandate coming in.
Yeah, Chrysior going to be put to sleep right away. Good night, Sweet Prince. Also going to be stunned up. And Chrysior, I think, overstepping a little bit of his welcome there. Didn't move for a second. Could have gone down, but had to block just in time. And Chrysior now going to be backported into base. And this should be the end of this bot lane turret. First turret going to be taken anyway by the top lane, by the Kinetic and the Glaive. And also the second turret by Nosung Nomo and PP Bruto. 1 turret trade for both teams so far. Going to be given a little bit more room to work with in the near future.
And Fairy Tail's doing a great job this game capitalizing when they have the opportunity to. First game, didn't feel like they did anything with their kills or with their rotations. This game, we see the gold is almost dead even. We see the turrets exchanged 1 for 1, recognizing that the top lane is getting pushed, or their top lane, our bottom lane, getting pushed. But now, Fairy Tail, they're coming in.
Yeah, Afterburn, he's not going to be able to find out VG Josue, so will go for the next best thing that was Dorcas, but unfortunately Finn, you know, you can't get Afterburn away. He's just a big fat boy, so he's going to be able to tank that up without too much of a problem. 7 minutes in, he's going to see a bunch of team fights slowly going to be coming up. Dorcas, he will be using the flask as a trade mechanism against Miguel Wyman, that did dive on through with his Troublemaker. 1-1 kill, we're on through onto Randolph. We'll be able to connect, dashing out quite a chunk of damage. So he's going to be having to go a little bit backwards, go in his own jungle, just farm up a little bit more and get some items. As we do see Arden going for the very, like, not, you don't see that much, but he's going for the Serpent Mask first item, so he's going for some type of sustain Arden pickup here, and I actually do enjoy that against their comp. I think that would be actually pretty impactful overall.
I do think against the Glaive, that is one that makes sense. His ability to naturally heal the little packets of damage kind of matches up with Glaive's natural Serpent Smash kind of effect. But Chrysaor, oh boy, him and Randolph are on the run. Miguel, what can you do?
Troublemaker, Solar Storm, the two-man Quibble, followed up by the Finn. He's going to be able to find it, but still the Blood Song from Mr. Roma will be the death sentence for this Samuel that was way too far ahead. Quibble onto Mr. Roma. Mr. Roma has his afterburner in 6 small seconds, but still Iron Mandate from Chris, who's just going to try and give assistance as much as he can. Mr. Roma going very slow. He can sustain with his passive, but it's just not enough, unfortunately. He will be going down first. Chris was pretty low. He might want to get out, but he's still going to be able to trade out the kill. Oh my god, Randolph, Chris, you are Mega One. They're so low, but still will be able to survive that skirmish.
Yeah, what a crazy play there coming from the side of Fairy Tail. Health bars down to basically nothing, and they only lost out on Mr. Roma. That was excellent for them to get the gold back almost into
Chrysaor?
even situation. Chrysaor maybe lagging a little bit, maybe not paying attention, but he will survive. He just gave away half of his health for free. Oh, the Wolf's Maw!
A little bit of miscommunication between the Wolf's Maw and the core collapse. And he's going to find a traded kill right there. If he survives, that'd be huge. Solar Storm ripping on through. Going to be able to do a little bit of chip damage. But I think Lelouch will be going down. He has the boots, but unfortunately his turret is not there anymore. You see Mr. Roma is going towards the left side. He's going, no, man, no. Lelouch. No, he's going to go down to Chrysaor right at the end right there.
Yeah, good Wolf's Maw to pull. Meanwhile, Samuel was able to push down a turret there in the mid lane. Good rotation from Petal. Recognizing that Mr. Roma and Chrysaor chased down the Arden of all targets to chase down. They left that heavy Crystal Mage to just rain damage in on that central turret. Now we've got...
I'm seeing the side of Petal here, sorry, but like Mega Up is on his own, and they could have made their way to rotate down onto Mega Up, and they didn't even have the turret, but they just shopped and went back to mid lane. But now Bruto, he has the opportunity. Oh, he does have the stun potential. Miguel will be able to get out with Miguel. He just knows what's up. He's just going to go down. Doesn't have his the potential to get out of that fight. But that's going to be, man, 1-for-1 trade overall there. They're going to be able to find the Vox. There was a little bit out of position there. The Finn did also go down shortly before that fight. And now they're going to be trying to go and commit to this ghosting. When they're saying, Gnomo, what are you doing? You're not a frontline tank. And he will be dropping down to the power on the hands of this Kinetic as she just purchased this. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen the grab there potential. He will get it down, Bruto. Not going to be again a steal. And he will also go down. Petal just falling apart right there.
Yeah, it did seem to be the case. Fairy Tail have really stepped their game up from game 1 here now into game 2. So I'm excited to see that. You know, it's definitely one of the teams that you were hyping up, Max. So I'm glad that they're finally making you proud. But yeah, they've really become a more tight-knit crew since game 1. And I think that's a huge benefit for them. They definitely needed it. We've seen them, same kind of thing last week, where they maybe didn't have the best game 1 and then pulled things together a little bit better in game 2.
Yeah, I think they learned a little bit of their mistakes of that first game, and that's definitely to their advantage. You know, they're 11-4 overall. They don't have a goal lead, so that's a little bit of a repeat of what we had. They're not committing to farming up that much. They're a little bit. I think they're just a little bit too focused around kills for now. So I think maybe they're looking for these nice, good team rotations to get the jungle, steal it away, and trying to put into that gold pit. The side of Petal would be definitely really nice to see, but that's not what they're focusing on right now. They're just going to be farming up into the mid lane and probably looking for the next team fight. As to see Bruto is going to be able to catch out the Glaive there. He's just going to be backing off. He's not ready to commit on his own without his team. The Force Accord, though, nicely done from the Finn. Chris will follow it up to avoid the stun from this Yates. Sonic Zoom, wait for it, does connect, and followed up by the Mollisum Verdict of Bruto and the Quibble of Dorcas picking up 2 easy kills in the bottom of the jungle. Jesus, very squishy though. Those Glimmer Shots doing a lot of work. Oblivion following on through. Bruto, oh, gonna get tanked up by VGL Hoswe there. One kill. 689 damage. It's gonna be forcing Hoswe, Jesus 27 to backport to base. They're gonna be able to find this second mid lane turret normally with the wave. They will be able to find that at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge plays coming out of them this game. But again, as much as I say that Fairy Tail is doing better this game, we still see a massive gold lead in the favor of Potato Petal, but here comes Chrysler, Iron Man it in!
Yeah, he's going to try and jump on through, but unfortunately just went in without his team, so he's going to get punished for his very sins. Huge double man quibble for Dorcas, going to be able to find the killing blow with the Vox onto the Celeste. That's a 2-for-0 trade. Unfortunately, a little bit of miscommunication by the side of Fairy Tail. They were doing so well right now, and unfortunately just gave 2 kills, and then followed up also by this bot lane turret, so maybe have to reconsider things for Fairy Tail.
Yeah, it does appear to be the case again. Potato Petal, I feel like they do a better job as a team executing when they get a kill. They make sure they're pushing an objective. They make sure that they're taking a jungle rotation away. And it's just been a constant thing for Potato Petal. While they do make a few more mechanical mistakes than maybe a team like Exceed, I think their rotations are absolutely on point, and that gives them a lot more leeway in some of these games that are otherwise pretty close.
Yeah, they're definitely very close right now. It's just, I think it's just the team that does a mistake will be the team to get punished, and unfortunately did see that, like a little bit of miscommunication. Ult in from the 8's not going to be able to find anything. As the Solar Storm comes on through, he thinks they were going for the ghosting, but unfortunately they were not, and also they had no vision. So just in case, you know, it's not too much of a problem, but that puts the Solar Storm of Randolph on a 50-second cooldown. So that's going to be one huge ability out of the next team fight. As you see, Lelouch going to be able to steal away this weapon buff. And that's what I was talking about. I want Fairy Tail to try and commit a little bit more to their gold. And that's something they haven't been doing. And the gold lead is definitely like almost a 10,000 gold lead for Potato Petal. And that's just something that you wouldn't guess to happen because it's pretty even overall. But just the gold of Potato Petal is definitely going to be giving them a huge lead in the late game team fights. And we're slowly getting to the late game right now. So I think Fairy Tail are going to be having a hard time to come back into this game if they don't commit to the gold lead right now.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Potato Petal, they're sitting up they're approaching the 10,000 mark of gold lead at this point. So this is where we're going to start to see some of the fights really start to turn in their favor. For a lot of the mid game, it was fight control going over to the side of Fairy Tail. But now as we get to some of these power spikes for the side of Potato Petal, Kestrel is going to start inflicting a lot of damage. This Vox is going to start inflicting a lot of damage, as well as has that Eve of Harvest to help him heal up. Beautiful block there on the Forced Accord. But what can Fairy Tail do about it? Here comes the Gauntlet a little bit shy.
Oh, the Blood for Blood from Lelouch VIP doing quick work of this kinetic as she does drop down first in this team fight. It's going to be the next focus. Will be down onto Randolph. He will be able to boot away. Nice grab there, followed up with the Afterburn and the Solar Storm ripping on through, pin this Samuel very low. The Quib will get a huge stun onto Bruto. But unfortunately not going to be able to follow up on that. Mr. Roman now is going to be on the back foot. Going to be trying to get back to his base. The Kestrel's around the corner. Surprisingly they're not committing to that though, and they did get the second top lane turret. Still really nice, once again, opportunity, and that's what I'm talking about. It's only mistakes that like makes the difference in this game so far. You had a mistake of those step from the Celeste, and she just got caught out completely. Right now, they're going to try and get this checkpoint train in the mid lane. They should be able to pick it up. That's going to be the Samuel just going down to the turret. Okay, fair enough.
I think it's a safe loss there, though. They get down the choke point turret. Chrysler pulls in no soy.
Okay. Well, I was talking about mistakes there, so you had 2 mistakes right there. Going out from the Kestrel and the Samuel. Nishabi packed a punch by Jesus27. With that breaking point, he's scaling up. Forced Accord. Going to be a little bit glitched up there. Jesus just phasing in and out of the map. The matrix does exist, so he will be able to pick up a kill onto Jesus27. Still, the mistakes after the mistakes and that mid lane push. I don't really get what happened there, but now they gotta try and reconcentrate because this might be a 2-0 for Potato Petal. I want to see Fairy Tail try and commit to those mistakes. That's what they did right there, able to pick up 2 kills. And Potato Petal, if they keep doing mistakes like this, Potato Petal could give away the game because they got such a huge lead. It's hard to see Fairy Tail not win this game at this point in time.
A Solar Storm is out. Is it going to find anything? It's going to find out that Black Claw was not being taken, but that's about it. It's going to be 13-13 on the board. Potato Petal, though, 10, working on an 11k gold advantage. Build so far pretty close. You know, with the exception, we've got some upgraded boots. The lot of the gold disparity that we see has gone over to the fact that Lelouch has so much damage coming out on this Arden, which is not typically what we see out of Ardens. It's usually a little bit more tanky, maybe the Storm Crown in there, maybe an Aftershock. He's going all out right now with Serpent's Mask, Breaking Point, working into some crit as well. We see the level 12 infusions burning on the side of Potato Petal for Vox, Arden, and Samuel, and they may just be looking to push in at this point.
We're going to try and get through. The Force Accord will be beautifully blocked out, but no, you know what's not getting blocked up? The grab from this Yates. Nice, really nice Oblivion coming out from the Samuel. Going to be able to put 2 members asleep on the side of Fiery Tail. And the Gauntlet will be getting a huge round. Stun up to Jade. It's going to be the main focus right there. Just pop the flask, but it just will not be enough. We're going to be betting missing out to Mr. Romeo. Will be able to afterburn his way to safety. But now 2 armories are open. Actually, no, only 1 armory. So I thought the top lane armory was open. No, the mid lane armory is open for damage, as they will take it down right now. Only 2 members are left alive, but unfortunately, I just saw that. But Miguel Map is AFK into the base. And that's very unfortunate, but you know, in these kind of tournament, you are responsible of your own internet connection. And this will be 2-0 situation going over to Potato Petal with a very, very nice late game in both games.
Yeah, absolutely. Potato Petal, again, capitalized on their rotations better all the way across the board. Really good attempt coming out of Fairy Tail. And again, just like I said last week, I can see potential for this team if they can tighten things up. In the end, Potato Petal, they come out with a 2-0 clean victory. No game 3s yet, but as the competition gets closer and closer and we see these teams start to shuffle around on who they're facing, I definitely think coming up into our next group of games next week, we'll definitely see some games that are really high action-packed and very even across the board. For example, I'm looking forward to seeing like maybe Team Exceed versus Potato Petal would be a fun one to watch and see just where Potato Petal actually stacks up.
Yeah, like that was a very, very nice set of matches today. So we're going to be going a bit over what happened to date for everyone, for you guys at home. So I'm just going to be updating the scores for everyone. Boom, there it is. And Potato Petal 2-0. So if you did just join us, you just missed out on the action. I'll be doing a quick recap of what just happened. So today we had 2 sets of BO3s. We had the first game that was at 6 PM CET. There was indeed Team Exceed up against Jade Lightning EU. Exceed coming out on top with a 2-0 spot. So far they are doing a 0 losing streak for Exceed. Actually a 4 match winning streak, if I had to say it on the positive side. And then we just had this second match. It was Fiery Tail up against Potato Petal, even though unfortunately we did have a very unfortunate AFK in the last match by Miguel Map on that Reza. It was still a 2-0 for Potato Petal. So far, no third games over the entirety of the tournament. So I'm waiting for that one game where we're going to be having such a close matchup that we're going to be having that third nice game, but that hasn't yet occurred over the entirety of the tournament. It's going to be looking on through. So anyways, before we do wrap things up for you guys, I'm going to be going up what are we going to be having for the next upcoming days of stream for the EU Champions Cup. So next week we'll be not having Saturday, Sunday normal matchups. We will be having the matches only on the Friday and the Sunday, because on the Saturday we will be having the WSG Grand Finals for the qualification phase for the live event in China of the WSG tournament. So that's going to be Spain up against Germany. So we'll be having then the next upcoming match of EU Champions Cup on the Friday, November 30th, 2018. So we'll be Divine Vendetta up against Defy GG and Team Sly up against Divine Vendetta. That is on Friday. And after that, for Sunday, December 2nd, we will be having Team Exceed up against Potato Petal. And the second game, there will be Jade Lightning EU up against Fiery Tail. So the 2 losing teams, Jade Lightning and Fiery Tail of today's matchup, they will be going up against each other. So I think that will be allowing us to have a little bit of a quick idea of which team is on top and which team is at the bottom of this A seed. But anyways, thank you very much for sticking around, you guys. Hope you had a good time watching this stream. Do you have anything to add, Denomine, before we wrap this up?
Not a ton, just that I am very, very excited as the action keeps ramping up to get into the next set of games, obviously next week, where we will, hopefully see some of these higher-end teams really start to battle it out and see who really stands where in the competition.
Yeah, also, I cannot wait to see that. Anyway, once again, thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching this stream, hosted by myself, Maxman, and Denomine. Hope you had a good time. We'll be seeing you guys next Friday for some awesome Vainglory European action in the competitive scene. Stay awesome and see you guys next time on The Rise.
To escape. We'll take your mood. When you're walking on the moon.
Walking on the moon. Walking on the moon.
Chase your happy place. It will change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon.
When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me through some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me through some places that I've never been. When we dance again, that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never been.
Walking on the moon.
One moment to escape. It will change your mood. When you're walking on the moon.
Walking on the moon. Walking on the moon.
Chase your happy place. It will change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon.
When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me through some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never been.